Hello, episode of Camp. Read the finale of this campaign. It's very exciting. I hope you're ready for this. I am Eric Scott DeB, writer, game designer, social media influencer, and I am playing myself. Elric Thalavar is my name in the game. I am a wannabe paladin of Helm, but mostly just a first level warrior. Check out our other campaigns here on the Dungeon Scrawlers. We'll talk about those later, but first, take it away, Allie.
Hi, everybody. I am Alexander Pitchford, or Allie for short. I am a writer, game designer, and TTRPG streamer, and today I am playing myself, aka Amara Valerian, an elven thief, level 1, but getting there. Gonna learn how to do this stuff more. But I also today I would like to tell you about one of our sponsors, which is Idle Champions. Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms is a strategy game that unites iconic Dungeons and Dragons characters from novels, campaigns, and popular shows into one epic adventure, including Farida, Havilar, and Mehen from the Brimstone Angels novels. The game is available for PC and Mac on Steam and Web, Epic Game Store, Google Play, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, iPad, iPhone, and on all Android devices. For more information, check out idlechampions.com.
Hey, I'm Rhiannon Held, a professional archaeologist and writer. I write urban fantasy under Rhiannon Held and space opera under RZ Held. And I have dice partners to tell you about. Norse Foundry specializes in metal dice. When you roll them, it feels like you're skillfully smashing the rigid armor of the monster horde. You can find their dice and accessories at norsefoundry.com. Phoenix Dice is named for the creature that rises from the ashes because they use all recycled materials. You can find their dice and accessories at phoenixdice.com.
Hi, I'm Randy, also known as Randonius Imperius Hendersonius, and playing a bard, and want to be a paladin of Helm. No, you're such an influencer, Eric.
Well, you know, everybody wants to be me, right? Right? Why are you all looking at me like that? Okay.
I'm good.
All right, hello everybody. I'm Joel Everett. Usually one of your mods cutting it up in chat under the handle Rumpus Imperator. Like everybody else, I'm playing a version of myself, but transformed into a dwarf, possibly due to a family curse. And I have not yet adopted an adventuring pseudonym.
Hopefully it's a curse and not like a weird STD or something.
Hopefully.
100% a family curse.
Also,
Who knows?
Randy, did your name get longer?
Possibly.
Yeah, I think he's been sporting that one for a while now.
I can't remember I honestly can't remember what I said originally. I think it was something along those lines.
I just don't remember the
Everybody trying to track is confused.
I remember channeling the movie Gladiator. Anyway, hello again, everyone. And I am Chris, your humble dungeon master. Well, your dungeon master. And I am about to begin our sordid tale of adventure at the beginning of episode 10. And I'll give you a little recap of where we left our heroes last time. So in episode 9, our heroes went to the Purple Lady, a fest hall hereabouts, in an attempt to track down Gedrin Thalavar, the future Shadowbane, and unfortunately encountered some difficulties thereabouts, which resulted in fire, blood, and death. The players retreated from that place, Gedrinless. As it turns out, he was not there. However, they did encounter some mysterious person who knew where Gedrin was, so they are in possession of that information. And they returned to Briar House. When they did so and informed Jamal of the doings, they brought with them the seemingly unconscious body of their clerical friend, Finnan Wanderwhistle, only to discover that he was not unconscious, but sadly had passed. And Jamal did not take that news very well. And so when last we left our heroes, Jamal had just broken into ragged sobs over the body of the now deceased Finnan. Everyone else was gathered near the fireplace in the entry hall. So anything from all of you, or shall I engage in a bit of what I suspect is your internal monologues?
I mean, Amara is took a seat somewhere and is probably just kind of head in hand. Like she's shocked. She's dealing, all of that was a mess. And the last words I remember speaking uh before we cut off last time was, "We just made them angrier."
This is true. Um, Randy, I imagine you're a little disappointed because Finn was a friend, and you were just starting to learn more about the god that Finnan worshipped.
Yeah.
Joel, I know you know some things along with Randy that everyone else in the group might not know about what was going on in the back kitchens of that place that you left on fire when you left. And so you and Joel, or you and Randy rather, are probably struggling a bit with that knowledge. Eric, I can't help but think that you're probably feeling at least some degree of responsibility for all of this because that tends to be your thing.
Yep,
And
generally.
you led them in and led them out of this place. And Rhiannon, you may have set fire to that place inadvertently, but nevertheless, you did. It's a stone building, so hopefully that means it didn't just, burn to the ground, but it's probably still at least a flame, and the guard was on the way responding to that location when you left. The marks, when you counter danger, fear, etc., tend to kick in and suppress those feelings, almost like an adrenaline boost. But when you're out of that and you are safe here, it wears off and shock sets in. So all of you are kind of feeling that in the quiet of the room as Jamal is sobbing over the body of Finnan. Do you wish to say anything to each other?
Actually, what I would like to do, I am going to shuck the gauntlets of my armor, kneel down next to Finnan, and start administering chest compressions.
Okay.
Because he's been under for less than 5 minutes. Brain death should not have set in yet.
You
and
remain.
I will look around and say, does anybody know rescue breathing?
You
Yes.
may or may not recall that the last time we talked about this, you had a dialogue with your mark. I think it was your mark because you remember talking to it, trying to get its attention, and it indicated to you that Finnan was beyond help. I also seem to recall saying that there was a energy drain component to this that was more than just physical; it's spiritual. And so you can do what you're doing in the hopes that it will have some meaningful effect, but your heart's not in it, in the sense that
he saved our lives. I'm going to exhaust our options before we move. But we owe him our best efforts.
So
I mean, now.
So some dramatic movie moments. So Joel, you're going to do that. Rhiannon, you indicated that you understood the breathing portion of CPR when Joel just asked. Does that mean that you're going to bend over Finnan and attempt to breathe into his mouth?
I mean, yeah, I'll follow Joel's lead.
I recall at the conclusion of the last session.
Mine is going to say this isn't worth it, right? Is that?
No. I recall at the conclusion of the last session that you said something along the lines of, "I can't touch him." Do you remember that?
Oh, right. Well, because I can't heal.
So while you ponder that,
no, I'm going to do it because the thing with the fire magic last time was when I was trying to summon magic, I hoped it was healing magic, and then it came out as fire. So I am in no way attempting to summon healing magic or any magic at all. I am summoning the power of science.
All right, the power of science and you will work together with Joel. Jamal will stop crying and look confused, but I thought she's talking to you, Randy. I thought they said, what are they doing?
They're processing their grief in their own way. I think at the close of the last episode, I think I talked to her, but
you did. You informed her that he'd given his life for the good of all of you.
Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah. So yeah, but I will just read her. I'll say, at least we have peace to know he's probably, singing and dancing in a field with Finder right now.
She will nod at that. Eric, anything from you?
Okay, let's try this again. I'm going to try the land hands thing again.
Okay, so you remember this fellow is somewhat short. He's only about 4 feet long, stem to stern. Will stake out a portion of Finnan that they're not occupying, maybe the legs, and attempt to summon Helm's aid to pour healing magic into Finnan. Allie, anything from you?
I mean, I can't really help with this, and I'm kind of like, I'm shaky at the moment. Amara is shaky. I think what she might do is get some space from all of this. How feasible would it be for her to get up on the roof?
The roof?
The roof.
Well, you can climb. Do you have any rope?
I don't have rope, no. I do have those fancy jumpy boots, though.
You could, I suppose, go outside, use the fancy jumpy boots to gain purchase on the second level someplace, near the turret perhaps, and be on the roof. You'd probably want to inform the people in the room that you were leaving.
Yeah, I think I'll get up and I'll just be like, I need some air, and she'll start walking to leave.
Okay. Are you looking to go to the second floor and make your way out that way, or are you looking to go out the front doors, which are presently closed?
Second floor.
Okay. So you'll begin making your way up to the second floor. As all of you are doing this, no response, Joel, relative to the chest compressions, but as you know, this takes a little while. Randy, Jamal is still sort of on her knees watching what they're up to, and she'll start singing quietly at first, but with greater force as she goes into the song. She has a lovely voice, strong and certain despite her age. And the song she's singing is about fall and winter, the loss of a love, the coming of spring, and the death of the lover who lost the first, and their reunion beyond death's grasp. It's beautiful and moving, and it stirs feeling in all of you. It calms you and leaves you filled with a degree of resolve to action. However, you've generated no healing laying on of hands, Eric, no response to breath or heartbeat, Joel and Rhiannon.
And if there's a clear rhythm to the song, I'll softly play
the drum. Thank you. Allie, you are now separated from the rest of the group. You can hear the singing from downstairs, but it doesn't have the same effect on you.
That's fair. Okay.
As the song reaches its end, she will look up to you, Eric, and say, I am embarrassed that I did not think to ask this. What of Gedrin?
I believe we have a location where he can be found.
Where?
I look around.
In the room with you are the party, her, Mercy carrying the babes, and the lad who works here with his arms around the babes and Mercy. Varys is guarding the front door with his crossbow.
I think I'll probably follow after Allie just to check on her, and also because there are vampires and we probably shouldn't be alone.
All right,
outside,
fair.
Especially.
Okay. Eric?
I am not certain you wish me to burden you with that knowledge, my lady.
I sent you into what apparently was a trap. I deserve to be burdened.
Yeah, I led us into what was definitely a trap. I carry the burden.
Lad, I appreciate what you're trying to do, but there's no way I'm not going to help you. Where?
Very well, if you insist. And I tell her about the information we have, which is the ship that Gedrin is on.
And Joel,
Pride.
I'm making
Zolkir's
a face.
Pride. So we're
just saying, like when they're doing the like, no, it's my blame, you'll see me be sort of like.
Okay,
And then,
actually,
but
if Eric sounds like he's going to explain it, I try to cut him off and say, Eric, I think it's safer for everyone if they don't know our next steps. It's safer for them if they don't know our next steps.
I
We're
agree.
probably hunted by both the night masks and the watch at this point.
I agree. However, the lady is insistent, and I think it might be safer for everyone if we work together.
She'll say,
I mean, I can't stop him.
putting her hand on your shoulder to stop you doing what you're doing if you haven't already stopped doing it. With Finnan gone, I'm the best thing you have by way of a guide. You'll see that when she says that, her servitors seem troubled. Like, wait a minute, what is she doing? But she'll shush them with a glance. And for a moment, we will go upstairs. So, Allie, you've made your way to the second floor, sort of
Yes.
second and a half. If you recall, the turret room is a little bit
Mhm.
further up. You're opening up the windows, clearing out the garlic cloves, and unlocking the thing when Randy will come up behind you. You'll hear him coming before he arrives.
All right, just kind of busily
Mm-hmm.
doing that. I'll be fine.
Okay. I know that was a lot. Especially, I can imagine you are obviously becoming more and more part of this world and hoping to stay and then to face sort of the real consequences of that, maybe. How are you doing?
I'm doing as best as I can, Randy. Like I said, I need some air. I was gonna just sit on the roof.
Okay. I will be nearby if you need me. I with the vampires about, I didn't want anyone to be sort of entirely alone.
That's fair. I'm not going far, I promise. I'm not gonna run off.
Okay.
Just need to not be here right now.
I understand. I kind of didn't want to be staring at Finnan's body either. So I'll just be over here in the corner, quiet.
So you'll
Fair.
stay in the bedroom, the loft or the tower bedroom, and Allie, having opened the windows, you can actually scamper out onto the roof without too much difficulty.
Okay.
You're,
Okay,
as I said, frighteningly dexterous at this point.
Fair enough. I will do that, find a little perch for myself and just kind of like head in hands, just kind of trying to process all of it.
Roll a 20-sided die for me since you're out there.
Okay. 9.
Okay. You'll see smoke rising from about a quarter mile north on the street, which is where the Purple Lady is located. There's a bit of flickering flame as the place is still afire. However, it's not burning as cheerily as you thought it might have been. So perhaps that combination of stone and the response of the guard has kept it from completely going up in flames. From your perch here, sort of ant-like activity in that direction, as obviously there are a lot of people responding. There were people inside that place, for one thing.
Yeah, I'm aware. Not the full extent of how many people were in there, but I'm aware.
Got it.
As I kind of like stare out over the city and look at that, I'm just gonna kind of mutter to myself, I hope you got out of there.
Fair enough. I think we know who you're muttering to.
Yes, more than likely.
More than likely. All right. So, Randy, anything from you or just quietly reflecting in the room?
I'm struggling a bit with having to have left all those children in the place to potentially burn and or be consumed by the vampires to regenerate and that kind of a thing. Really, the shine has worn off on the realms for me a bit. Let's just say that.
In under 30 hours.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I'm struggling a bit to hold on to the wonder and the sense of fun of it all, but
entirely understandable. All right, so back downstairs in the entry hall, you were about to explain the situation, Eric.
Uh-huh. So I look at Joel because I don't want to cross Joel. And, I agree with Joel.
Interesting choice of words.
I agree with Joel, but we owe this woman a great deal of gratitude, and she is insisting that she wants to help us.
Are you saying that out loud?
No, I'm just thinking this.
That's your internal monologue. Okay.
Which nobody else can hear because we're not touching, and I don't have that power anyway.
Mhm.
Lady Jamal, a moment, if you would.
Certainly. Take your time.
All right, I go over to talk to Joel and Rhiannon,
Hmm.
because I assume Rhiannon wants in on this conversation too.
I mean, well.
You will notice, the three of you, because she's not attempting to hide it as you sort of move into a corner to have your own quiet conversation, that she's, taking his cloak and laying it over him like a sheet. She's quietly removed the medallion from around his neck. Go ahead, have your conversation.
Okay, so we're in a difficult situation. I don't really want to endanger her. She has been very useful to us and very helpful and very, very welcoming, and she's just encountered a tragedy of her own. Maybe she's not thinking clearly. Maybe she can't help us, or maybe we'd be putting her in too much danger. What do you think?
That's not our decision to make. That's hers.
Well, that's where I was going, but
It is in terms of her own safety, but the thing is, unless she's coming with us, if we tell her where we're going, then it's easier for other people to follow us. I mean, if she can point the watch or the night masks to us, I mean, even if she wouldn't betray us deliberately, she could be magically compelled to share that information.
that's true.
So if she doesn't know, she can't give it up. And at a minimum, let's tell only Jamal, not everybody in the room.
This is to you, Rhiannon. I can't believe that we're about to go on another one of these fruitless pursuits, but if we are, well then just bring her along. She is, in all probability, more powerful than any of you. Oh, and she has that wand at her belt.
Yeah, my attention goes elsewhere for a second and then sort of like re-engage.
Did you think of something, Rhiannon?
Yeah, talking to people.
Oh.
So we are, the first level babies or whatever. And so maybe we should take her along. And that's again a decision she gets to make. And then because one could argue that would leave, her people exposed here. But then again, like if we're worried about, trying to get information, like I think that magically compelling brings a different aspect to it. But I think that she was always going to be in danger whether we tell her or not, because they would think that we would have. But I don't think that they would think that we would confide in random servants, so they might, it might leave them alone more. So I think that like telling Jamal, it kind of doesn't matter either way because they would think that we had. So then, maybe she should come with us if she wants to. That's her decision. We could offer it.
I think that they would think that we would think that she would think that they
Oh,
would think
yeah,
that
I know I went there, but
I think though that you
Okay,
are
so
right.
If she's coming with us, go ahead. Let's go ahead and tell her, but let's not share that with anybody else.
yeah.
I'm okay with that plan.
I want to make an observation, which Jamal will not understand. So this is strictly for us. The last time we went into a harrowing situation, which was literally 2 hours ago, the only one who died was not one of us. We have plot armor that Jamal does not have.
I would argue that in fact we don't have plot armor, given
I'm
like
not
how
dead.
this has been
I
going.
should be dead. I should definitely be dead, but I am not dead. I think.
I feel like you're tempting the gods, but right now, but I'm not in the room. So.
Perhaps.
Well, I mean, so like whatever power, like tapping the mark, but not like showing it, but just like
Mhm.
through my shirt. Whatever powers brought us here, I think we're only around in as much as we are useful. And so if Jamal is useful with us, then I think she would have as much protection from that as we do. Honestly, like
glance over at
I
Finnan's
I
body.
don't know. You start going down that logic hole, and it's like, what good are we? Like, if I was gonna put my marks on people, let's put them on like level 1 randos. But
Well, Rhiannon, I think we've determined that you are the leader, so you get to make this decision. If you do not wish to make this decision, I will make the decision. But you're the leader, and I want to defer to you.
Ah, I'm not the leader.
Finally, a trace of wisdom.
All right. So
See,
As
you
a
could
group
you could just be
decision,
but-
repeating everything your voice says to me, and I go, yeah, I understand why it feels that way.
okay. So quick
Yeah,
quick
Joko.
recap of where I think we're at. Eric, Ilra clocked you as a Thalavar even with the mask on, which means that the other people there probably did as well. And when the Night Masks or the Watch go to Castle Thalavar and ask about you and describe us, I have zero doubt that the Seneschal will give them an accurate description of us without our, all of us. And she actually saw most of our real faces. She knows some of our real names, and she knows we're staying with Jamal, or she knows we're friends with Jamal. I don't know if she knows. I don't remember if we said we were staying here.
Oh yeah, the
But I
watch
think
is
we have
definitely coming here. You're right.
We have a very short window of time before the Westgate equivalent of a SWAT team is surrounding this place. unless the Night Mass beat them here. And either way, we need to be gone by then. So
Yep,
I
agreed.
think we need to figure out what we're doing and get out. And the people who are here probably need to scatter as well. So let's figure out what we're doing and gather our folks and get out.
All right.
So here, why don't we sort of, divide and conquer? So why don't like I go with the servants to like grab some like food. I don't know if Realms have sandwiches. We can invent them if they don't, like something to eat on the way.
Mhm.
And Eric, Phil, and Jamal, give her the option to come with us. And Joel.
Oh, actually, Rihanna, there's one other thing. Finnan needs to be burned. He died to a vampire's energy drain. If he's buried, he will rise as a vampire, and they will gain access to any knowledge he has, because he will be a loyal servant of the vampire that killed him. So
Right.
we could leave him for Jamal to burn, but that seems like a service that seems like something we could take off her plate, if you would do the honors. I mean, let's explain it to Jamal first, but
Yeah, well, we should take it out.
obviously.
It should be in a courtyard or something. Okay, so
Right, yeah, no, I wasn't suggesting we do it here, but
absolutely. Let me just check something. Am I going to need the strength I spend on such a spell coming up, do you think?
If the concern that he has is that someone will rise from the dead,
Yeah, I believe so.
who?
Finnan.
Who? Roll a 20-sided die, Rhiannon.
Hey, other Chris, my video glitched out for a minute, so it might have messed up your screen, so I'm not sure.
All right.
You
we're
are good.
Okay.
Rhiannon?
Thanks. 7.
Okay. Clearly the mark has no idea who the hell you're talking about.
So I, describe him.
Who is that?
That we have been working with, traveling with. I guess you can't see
Roll
what
a
I'm seeing, but
20-sided die, please.
6.
Okay, you start to make that comment, and then you think to yourself, if the mark can't see him, should I tell the mark that it can't see him? Do you wanna?
Huh. No, let's do with it was a friend of Jamal's who was killed in the fighting in the fest hall. And so Jamal is worried about him.
We don't really have time for this. Your victim, whomever it might be, will not rise until at the earliest the morning, but more likely tomorrow morning, and they need to be buried first. Have they been buried?
No.
Then you're safe.
Okay. So the burning can wait as long as we don't bury him yet. So I feel like rather than doing like a normal pyre, I would like to do it with a spell, but if we need spells for getting Gedrin, I think we need to do that first and then circle back.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay, very well. So shall we divide to do our missions?
Is Joel hanging with me while we talk with Jamal?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll sort of do one of these where it's like Eric, you can still hear, and be like, if they get into the like circle of blame, like kick him in the ankles, okay?
The circle of blame.
Rhiannon's got no patience for this lawful good nonsense.
Okay.
Fair.
All right.
I do have one question.
Yes.
How long? So as far as I have a question about how reverie works specifically.
Yes. Go ahead.
How long? Like how long does that take to slip into?
That is an excellent question. You don't know because you haven't ever done it. And I don't know that if you don't know, you know. In other words, from lore. If you're trying to do so right now, roll a 20 sided die.
All right. 4.
You haven't.
Okay. Nothing yet then.
I shall
Yeah,
leave you to ponder that.
She's trying to focus and like she has someone to talk to.
Yes, I suspect I know who.
that's what she's trying to do right now.
Gotcha.
Now that she's like, yeah.
All right. No dice so far, as they say. All right.
All right.
So back to the circle of blame. Eric?
All right, I go back to Jamal with Joel in
Okay.
tow.
All right.
All
Jamal
right.
will
Wait till the other servants have been pulled out of the room first before you start.
Jamal actually has them quietly and reverently transporting Finnan's body to the library. Like there's a table in the library and laying the sheet out on top of it. So you have him alone with her in this room. Yes. So what have you decided?
We have discussed.
But before we say anything else, Jamal, Finnan cannot be buried. Because he was slain by a vampire, if he is buried, he will rise as a vampire, and specifically a vampiric slave of the.
Her shoulders will sag a little.
So his body must be burned. I didn't know how quickly you would normally bury him, but his body must be cremated. To avoid that happening.
I was thinking of, well, not until tomorrow at least. How much time do we have?
He won't actually rise unless he's buried. So
he will keep then.
If you just hold off, we are expecting to take care of the burning for you. But just I didn't know if you were going to be proactive about funeral rites.
No. Finder's faith is very catch as you go as it relates to such things. It's sort of the choice of the individual. And so I was going to do what I thought Finn would want, which would involve shield meat. So you have at least until then. I'd be happy to have your help with cremation.
It should be clear that we're only speaking of tendencies. These particular vampires might operate on a different schedule, or their powers might work differently. You might want to have the body watched.
I shall have Varys stand over it.
Okay. So we discussed sharing the information with you. I hope you understand that it is an awkward and difficult situation.
Certainly.
We suspect that we have many enemies that are after us, and they will come here because you are known to be our ally. Well,
I see.
You are known to be our ally, and the Thalavar household certainly knows that you are our ally. And because of this face, it's possible that they will go through them to find us, and that will lead them to you. So
we must get the boy, get back here, and decide what to do by dawn. I can't imagine that the Watch or whomever else will be managed to achieve anything before then.
well, the vampires will not wait until dawn. They are nocturnal creatures. So it might be best for you to stay here and protect your people and your household while we go out and do this thing. If you are determined,
That wasn't what we discussed.
I'm getting there. If you are determined to come with us,
Well, I don't even know where you're going.
well, we will accept your aid, but we'll only tell you where we're going if you are determined to come with us.
Is it outside of the city?
No.
Then I'm determined to come with you. You don't know this place.
Not as well as you do. That is true. All right. I look at Joel.
I don't actually know where we're going yet. You haven't.
He looks confused. And then
Okay, I tell her about the ship.
tell me about the ship.
Okay, well, as far as we understand, Gudrun can be found in the hold of this probably Thayan ship, because it's called the Zolkir's
Pride.
Pride. Yeah.
Yes.
Which is not
that
typically
sounds Thayan to me.
It's not typically a name that you'd give just any ship.
I imagine I know what section of the docks a ship like that may very well be docked in.
Well, that would be very helpful.
It's certainly not going to be in any of the family areas, which probably puts it at the outer piers. Yes. She'll stand up. Let's go get it.
I think this sounds like the solution to our problem. I think we need to get out of Westgate. If they are sailing with the
out of Westgate, that's what she'll say. Why would we do that?
If we're being hunted by the Watch and the Night Masks, we need to.
She'll look at you.
Get out of here until this.
I've been hunted by the Watch and the Night Masks before, lad, and here I am, still alive.
Well, they're hunting us, not necessarily you, my lady.
Well, they'll have to go through me to get to you.
Well, if we're out of the city, then the odds of them even attempting to harm you are much lower.
Let's get the boy and make that decision once we have.
So my thought was we present ourselves as people who are in trouble and need to get out of town quickly, and we attempt to book passage on board this ship. And then once we're aboard, we can either make the decision to grab him and get off.
Her mouth is literally wide open like mine is. On a Thayan vessel?
Look, they're not so bad. They're all just bald and they have the tattoos.
They're slavers.
That's true.
Oh God, slavery. Okay.
So if the boy is in their hands, no doubt that's the state he finds himself in. We have to rescue him. Lad, you may not know as much about the Thayans as I do. Let's see their ship, and then we'll discuss that plan.
All right. Let me know when I can take another crack at this.
All right, one moment.
All right.
We're going to go into an 80s power montage where, there's some chords and you gear up and strap on your stuff. So she's going to go explain to her servants that she's going to be gone without telling them where she's going to go, and then she's going to come back. You guys are sort of left to your own devices to gear up as you see fit. I'll go back up to the roof. We're on the roof.
All right. Okay, so I'm trying again. I mean, Randy could come out on the roof. I just went on the roof on my own.
I don't think he has any plans to do that, Randy.
No, I had a revelation. Like, my coping is, wait a second, we're writers. At some point, we're gonna get back to the real world, and all the children they were characters, right? So when we get back to the real world, I'll write that they all got away perfectly fine and happy, and then that will happen. And so I've started a list, kind of like an anti-R. anti-Aria list of all the people I'm going to save
Very
when we
clever.
get back to the real world through my writing.
When
Yeah.
he does the novelization of this show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, when Eric said, that cremation is just one of the services we offer, I suddenly, in my mind, played out a commercial of, "Hi, thinking of joining the Winged Adventure Crew? Well, we offer you a red shirt and free cremation services." That's right.
All right.
Okay.
Anyway.
Anyway,
Repatriation is
You want me
easy
to-
when you're a pile of ash.
That's right.
go ahead, Allie.
But
All right. You want me to
Yes.
roll again?
Yes.
17.
Yeah, no. Rest is just
No.
not coming to you. Neither reverie nor rest of the traditional kind. Your mind is racing, and the fact that you aren't achieving what you're trying to achieve is just making you that much more anxious. You've dropped into one of those feedback loops where you're pretty
Yeah.
sure you know you're not getting what you want right now.
All right.
Does that mean you're coming off the roof?
Yes, that means I'm coming off the roof.
All right, very well. Get off the roof. Okay. You're back
Yeah, she'll-
inside.
are you
yeah.
okay, Ollie?
No.
Everything all right?
No. I need to have a word with my little friend, and I can't.
Oh,
Just
who is your little friend? Do you know?
me? I don't know.
Oh, okay.
But
I know Rhiannon has a friend, right? And we know Rhiannon has a friend, right?
Rhiannon has
Or-
indicated
okay.
that Rhiannon has a friend.
Yeah, and I think Eric's friend is Helm, but
I've mentioned her before. I was useless back there, Randy. Utterly fucking useless. And there's our one. But when I tried to get help for that, all the
Yeah.
Mark did was give me some words that dumped me on my ass down the street.
Oh, Allie,
Yeah.
at that, your use of the one, you'll get a voice struggling to communicate to you because, dreams is kind of where it lives, but it can occasionally communicate to you in wakefulness, and it will say this. Allie, Amara, your power is deception, seduction, and the blade in the dark, not ostentatious bursts of power or brute strength of arms. Revel in that truth.
So then show me how, I will think.
Okay. No response.
Like, I will growl at that. Just be like, God
Something's going on, Randy.
I was gonna say,
damn it!
are you talking to them right now? Because you had this look on your face of
Briefly and frustratingly briefly.
did they explain why they dumped you in the street?
My power is not in ostentatious displays. And I get that. But when I'm in the middle of a fight and all of my friends are in trouble, I would at least like to be able to do something.
I understand that.
And
very
I
well.
just need to get this done. I'm just frustrated and I need to talk to them because like this, and she'll point at her face. I'll point at my face. Was this some kind of trick? Was this some kind of like messing with me? Because I didn't pick this.
Are you unhappy with it?
No, but I tried to make something that was mine, and this is not mine.
I can imagine. Yeah.
None of this is. And she'll like I'll motion at like the gear,
Mhm.
the armor. Like none of this is mine. The armor I found, the boots, the knife, all of it.
Are you? Is it the presentation or is it you? Do you feel like who you are right now is not your choice?
Nope. I don't know how to answer that question. I don't.
Okay.
I try to do something for once to define myself. I just need to finish this, and she'll turn and I'll turn and walk, try to head back downstairs.
Gotcha. Randy, it's
Yeah.
pretty clear that you aren't the only one for whom the shine is off of the realms. It has been through the very traumatic experiences that you've all experienced within just a day, been slowly eating away at everyone's contentment, sanity, etc.
Yeah. And yep. And I'm determined to like get through whatever it is that we're getting through. So hopefully, Allie and Rhiannon can get home and Allie can get to a place where she can fully define herself within this place.
Gotcha.
Well,
Well, the only way
gods or whoever.
the only way out is through.
Yeah.
Which will bring us back downstairs. So, Allie, you will arrive at about the time the other three are gathering together. You can hear the chords of a power ballad of some kind or another, 80s. You feel this means that people are getting ready to go out on an adventure. What do the four of you wish to say to each other?
What's the plan? And she's like I'm like, wiping tears away. Is that like just trying to compose myself? What's the plan?
So we're going for the ship with Jamal. And not telling anybody else here so that nobody can get the information about it. I was organizing, packed lunches as it were. So
Gonna go kill some slavers, probably.
Fun. Certainly deserve it.
Okay. Randy, you are now also downstairs with the rest of the group. Anything you wish to add?
Oh, that yeah, if we can maybe find a way to do so that is not like barging into the barge, if that's possible, and yeah, and maybe a less ostentatious approach.
You'll say that to the group.
Yeah.
I mean, if he is in the slavery status, we could just try buying him. I mean, he's a child. How much could it be worth?
You really want to pay into that?
Not especially, but I also don't really want to try to storm full of slaves.
Eric seems upset.
They don't deserve a single coin.
I don't disagree.
Eric's sword seems upset.
I mean, I'm with you, Joel. Like,
Let's go kill some slavers.
maybe that's the
give it
cover
like
story or something.
Something. I mean, we barely got out of that last scrape with our lives.
And down from upstairs comes Jamal, who has transformed herself somewhat. She's clearly taken the 80s power ballad seriously and geared up. She has her hair tied back, raven feathers braided into it. She's wearing dark silk. Yeah, exactly. Leather boots. She has a potion belt on, daggers, at least a half a dozen that you can see strapped all over herself, and a wand at her belt. Also, she's wearing studded leather bracers. You imagine those must be magical. She doesn't exactly look defenseless.
I think one thing I did do is I grabbed the long sword that I've been using on my way downstairs, since I only had my dagger going into the...
A better weapon.
Yeah.
D8 instead of D3 or D4. Sounds good to me.
I don't recall if I was still wearing the wizard's robes.
You were the sort of red and orange and etc.
Yeah, go back to something more practical.
Okay, so what is something more practical? Just sort of like the clothes you came in, or?
So the jeans I came in, and maybe the shirt, but then over top of it, sort of a long button-down coat, sort of brocade type fabric.
Okay.
So that
dark
I don't
color
stand out. Yes.
Okay. Gray or black?
So badly.
What's your preference?
Well,
gray, black, or navy blue. You have all three to choose from.
Gray would, if I do have them to choose from, gray would be what I would choose.
Gray it is. Wool, so it'll be a little warm, but it is nighttime. Okay, very well. So Jamal will say, when you're ready. Are you?
Did we like have some food? Because I'm serious about this. Like, we need to like eat at some point.
There is food in the kitchen, just sort of
Okay.
out in the open, because remember, this was a feast day. And Finnan didn't eat it all before he passed. So there's
I will
still
go
some
grab
of it
something.
left in the kitchen. Okay. So
yeah,
you'll
so I sort of stuff some into my mouth.
all right. Feed your bodies as well as your souls, so to speak.
Yes, I will.
All right.
I will grab whatever looks appealing and eat that.
There will be a brief dialogue between Jamal and her people, in particular Mercy. As it's clear she's setting out to depart with you all. She's kind of trying to hustle you out the back door of this place. And, Mercy's asking her if, she's sure she needs to do this and, why risk herself. And you'll overhear the little speech that she gives if you're interested.
Sure.
Okay. Basically, she says that for too long, other people have been fighting her battles for her, whether it's Mintassin or Thistle or Elias, or now this new group of cheap heroes. And she's injured, she's not dead. She has her magic, her wits, and she knows the way there. And so there's no way she's not going to help these people. And she'll tell Mercy to get the house ready. She'll be back with a boy named Gedrin. Okay, so all of you geared up?
Yep.
Anything in particular you want me to know about who has what?
I think Rhiannon should take the mask off and we should put it on Randy, because every vamp in the place got a good look at his face when he stopped to talk to them. So I think they all got, I think his face needs to be different as long as we're in Westgate, unless we have a higher priority come up.
Okay,
I don't
Randy?
suppose there's an actual suit of armor here, is there?
There is. Joel is wearing it.
Okay.
There's leather armor that might fit you, Eric, if that's what you're talking about. But like metal armor, the only suit is the one that Joel is wearing. The chain mail is fake.
Yeah, I'll put on the suit of leather armor. It's better than nothing.
It's a little tight because you're a monster.
I was going to say, be less tall, Eric. That makes things easier.
Yeah, but
got the bare midriff.
But it's better than AC 10. So your base AC is now 8. Congratulations.
Excellent.
Okay. So anyway, okay. Anybody else? Anything else? Go ahead, Randy.
Oh, I was just trying to remember. Did we use any of our healing potions in the vampire?
Only one, and that was
for the woman in the street.
Mm-hmm. So I've still got
Maybe
one
try
on
to
me.
knock her out again.
Yes, that's true. Drowner, strangler, the assortment of things.
I mean, I guess I don't know about that, so I don't have to
Yeah, there you go.
give you shit.
Yeah.
You don't have to, but you always can.
Well, when I find out about it. Boy.
Yeah, then you will. Okay. So again, Randy, are you taking the mask? And if so, are you changing your face? And if so, to what?
At first I was like, why would they particularly mark me? But then I remember I did the whole like, I'm going to turn you.
You did.
Yeah, sure. I will take it, and I will give myself the face of Pedro Pascal.
Yeah. Are we like Mandalorian Pedro Pascal? Like the incredible lightness of
Pedro Pascal.
The unbearable weight of.
Yes, that's the one I was picturing. Right. Yes.
Sure.
That's one of my favorite Pascals.
That
actually,
grin on his face when they're on there. Yes.
That's entirely fair. All right. So, anyone else? Special items you want me to know you've got?
I got my normal kit. So I got the possibly magical stiletto. I've got my long sword. I've still got that octel that does something. And the boots, of course. My enchanted as heck leather armor.
Enchanted as heck.
Yes.
Who has the cloak?
I dropped our one. I'm trying to be cool now.
Yeah. Who has the cloak?
Well, I had the cloak. Does somebody else want to take it?
Remind me, what did the cloak do again?
The first time someone tries to attack you with a missile or melee weapon, they miss. You get one free one. Unless it's a spell, of course.
I mean,
everybody gets one.
People
But
are
do you-
definitely going to attack me at some point, right?
Yeah, I'm not going to be in melee. Thank you very much. So,
Yeah.
You also
That's
have the
fair.
brooch of defense or healing, right, Eric? So I don't know if we want to split those between you and Joel, like one take the cloak, one take the brooch, or something like that. But if you're going to both be our front line.
Dwarves have the aversion to magic items in this edition.
Oh,
so
right.
All right. I will put on the brooch and the cloak.
All right, sounds good. Okay, so you
Look
will.
good, Eric.
tanking up.
Yeah,
Indeed, he is. Well, he was
very
just
styling.
he was just taunting the gods about how he wasn't dead yet just a few minutes ago. So it seems reasonable. that he
Only
should do
one
that.
god. Only one god, not
They're
all
all
the gods
listening,
in
Eric.
general.
They're all
I am
listening.
invincible.
And I will point out, it's not that we have plot armor, it's that Finnan like tanked everything for us.
Might have been what was going on there. Anyway, all right.
Stop stepping on my meta joke. All right, it's fine.
So you're out the back door and into the streets. You'll roll out. You'll go through the gardens into an alley behind the house, and you'll start making your way through the darkened streets of the city. The city's streets are thick with the aftermath of the revels and an air of quiet menace. But this time, you have Jamal as a guide, and she knows these streets like the back of her hand. And she'll take you on a route that will avoid the dangers and patrols of the watch alike. And within about 30-ish minutes, you'll find yourself at the outer pier of the harbor and begin systematically searching for the Zulkir's Pride. The docks are pretty quiet. The workers are all sort of involved in the festival. You sort of picked the right time, right, to be wandering the docks in the middle of the night. It's probably 3:30 a.m. So they're about as deserted as you're going to get them. During this period of time, on the walk over or as you begin searching the docks for the Drummond, because she believes that that's what it's going to be, it's a slave galley, a Drummond, she'll pull aside two people to talk to them briefly. That will be Rhiannon and Randy. And she'll start with Randy. She'll tap you gently on the shoulder.
Yeah.
There's something I thought you might want. And she will, from her palm, produce the holy symbol of the heart on the gray field that was hanging around Finnan's neck. I thought he would have wanted you to have it. And she'll hand it towards you.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
No, it's
a flat metal disc about yay size.
Yeah. I managed to sort of try and forget that he was laying back there dead. Now this is just like, okay.
And here it is again.
Here it is again, a reminder.
So you'll put out your palm to take it?
Yeah, I will take it.
As it passes over from her palm to yours, you'll get a little electric shock, almost like your, feet on the carpet touch the doorknob. It's pretty clear she did not get that same experience. Do with that what you will, Randy. What do you want to do with it?
I could make balloons stick to the ceiling, I guess. No, I mean, I will say, well, Finder, I guess it's up to me now to do your will. So, I guess whatever you can do to help us out would be great. Thanks. And okay. I'll put it around my neck.
All right. It lays on your chest at the center of your garb and feels comfortable there.
Okay.
Rhiannon, when she's done doing that, maybe that was on the walk and this is as you're beginning to search the pier and everybody else is looking, and she'll describe a Drummond and have you guys sort of look for it but not get too far apart from each other. She'll say, a moment.
Yes.
I'd show you this, and she will pull the wand from her waist. She'll hand it to you for a moment.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a reasonably delicate item, but sturdy in its construction. It's an ashwood maybe stick about 12 inches long, about an inch thick. looks a little scorched, and it's wrapped, twined around it in copper wire that runs from the bottom of it to the very top, where it has a gem, like a sea green gem, sort of wrapped in the copper wire at the top of it, and chips of that gem around the top of the wand. She'll say, I want to show you how this works so that if something happens to me, you can use it. It contains within it the power of lightning, and it has two functions, each of which is keyed to a word. I'm going to say the words out loud so that you can memorize them. Don't repeat them now.
Correct.
Did someone say lightning?
The
I know
first
enough,
function is you could use it to strike someone, and an electric spark will leap from the wand to the person, shocking them. It's particularly effective against people wearing metal armor. She'll give a look to Joel. And you don't even necessarily need to connect with them in order for it to work. However, it is meant to be used in hand-to-hand combat. The word you would use to make it work is Dalash. Dalash. The second function is the more powerful. It creates a stroke of lightning from the tip of the wand, either forked and about 40 long paces in length and about 10 paces wide, or a line about 5 paces wide and about 80 paces in length. It's a very powerful attack, and it will kill individuals, sunder wood and stone if it is thin enough. So use it carefully if you ever have to. Its word of command is Shal As Tala. Shal As Tala. Are you clear?
Yes.
Then I'll take it back. Okay.
Did it
And
feel like tingly at all?
It felt like a piece of wood wrapped in copper. You have an ability to just detect magic because something might be magical. So it didn't feel particularly tingly in your hands. Perhaps if you'd said the words, that might have been a different set of circumstances.
Yeah.
All right. So that happens while you're there. You'll begin systematically searching the docks, and after 15 or 20 minutes of doing just that, you'll find the Zulkir's Pride at anchor. It's at its own pier dock in the wealthy section of the outermost docks, sort of against the ocean itself, and it's flying the flags of both Fae and some other entity or organization. You don't know what that means. It has some guards pacing its deck, but only 3. They seem to be on sort of a circuit of patrol around it. It has a stern castle. It has a forecastle. It's a fairly thin but fairly long boat. And it has bank after bank after bank of oars. It looks like a trireme, if anybody knows anything about ancient ships. Although it's got like little sails. Jamal will pull you all aside maybe 100 feet from it and pull out a collapsible brass spyglass and begin working it to make it so that you can see through it. She'll look at the ship. Anything you guys want to do while she's doing that?
No, discuss sort of our approach.
Okay.
Yeah, let's.
I was going to say
Well, I
keep
think-
a watch out to make sure nobody else is sneaking up on us while she does
think-
that.
I think this is Allie's turn to shine.
Is it?
You get
Are
on
there
there.
shadows
You
on
get
this
on
boat
there
that
and you
can see?
Metal Gear Solid all 3 of those guards.
With a box?
Should
can
we
try.
talk through
Here,
the link?
take this box. No.
Or while she's doing that, we can cause a distraction.
Yes.
Good. So I think we should talk through the link, and then I mean, I guess Eric can't sort of
Right.
weigh in as well.
I will hang out with Jamal.
Okay.
Okay.
I will suggest Metal Gear Solid, and then I will suggest Drunken Sailor or Get Help. We should do one of those 2 as our distraction.
I'm not doing get help.
We should do Get Help. Anyway, I go to talk to Jamal.
Okay. So leaving the rest of them alone, and I'll get back to you all collectively in a moment.
Hmm.
As you approach her, and it's just a few feet away, she'll say, "It looks like there's 3 guards." She's whispering. I'm going to stop whispering. It looks like there's 3 guards. One guarding the stern castle, which is probably where the owner of that ship resides, and 2 sort of walking the decks. It also looks like there's at least 2 hatches down to the hold. My recommendation is that we split into 2 groups. A stealthy group, me, you, and Amara, and another group that if we need to create a distraction on our way out, can do just that by rushing the deck. But I think we might be able to. I have some spells in memory that I think we could use to get ourselves in, get the boy, and get out without having to set fire to anything here. Does that make sense to you?
Does. I'm also whispering, but I'm not going to whisper. It does. I will point out that setting fire to everything is our plan A, so I appreciate your efforts to give us a different plan.
Well,
I'm
I
not
get-
sure.
Not our plan A.
Your-
It is a thing that just sort of happens when certain
Like
people
I said,
go off
plan
half-cocked.
A.
Eric, stop telling people that.
I'm not sure I am the stealthiest, but I will certainly attempt.
Well,
Yes.
I have spells of both invisibility and a potion of flight that I think can make you fairly stealthy.
Very good. Do you recognize that other flag?
Actually, that's the Zulkir of necromancy.
Oh, good.
I suspect that this ship probably belongs to. There's a woman, lady something or other, begins with an S. I don't remember her name at the moment, but she's the agent of the Thavian who runs that school. Comes to the city on business.
The woman does, or the Zulkir does.
The woman does. Zulkir doesn't leave Thay.
That's for the best.
So is slavery legal in Westgate?
Is that to whom?
No.
I'm
Who's
asking
that to,
both,
Joel?
Eric and Jamal.
Well, you can't ask them because they're a few feet away
Oh,
from
they're
us. So you'll
okay,
have to
we're-
wait for
we're
Eric to
still
return.
gonna
Correct.
have
The,
our
the
combo.
4 of you
I
are
thought
going to
there
have
was
the
something
touch each other and talk in our minds conversation. Okay. So you may touch each other and talk in your minds. Rhiannon, you will recall, for what it is worth, that when you were originally sort of taught how to do this whole thing, you discovered someone inadvertently, I think maybe at the Purple Lady, that your friend can't hear the things that you're saying when you're talking to yourselves in your mind. So if you had this desire to share that piece of information you recently acquired about your friend, you could probably do that through this link, just bringing you up to speed. All right, so what have the 4 of you got to say to each other?
So, sneaking, not going in with the fire. So,
Probably for
yeah.
the best.
Yeah, if we can
Yeah.
do this stealth, if we can do this without violence, that would be ideal. Just because there's always the risk of the hostage not making it out, or the prisoner not getting out alive if we're yeah, especially if we're setting fire to things. But even if it's just a melee, I mean, who knows how many prisoners are down there if we're just trying to get one out.
yeah,
Yeah.
so I was going to say, like, I think there's a key point there, which is that the moment Eric steps foot onto that ship, he's going to start trying to free everybody. And
More
so
than likely.
Me? What?
maybe that helps get Gedrin, and maybe that doesn't. And so I think we
would-
should sort of like plan ahead that if we're going to free everybody, like we go hard on that and we do that. And if we don't, then like we gotta like sort of sit on Eric.
Truthfully, I hate to be something we need to consider, and I hate to be the person to bring it up in this particular way, because I don't necessarily think freeing everyone at once would cause a lot of chaos.
Mm-hmm.
Chaos that could potentially cover our escape.
That's
I mean,
chaos that
if-
would be good, but I'm feeling kind of neutral about this, yet good, in the sense of that I'm torn. I could go. I don't like the idea of leaving slaves in the whole of a ship or prisoners.
Well, that's
But on the other hand, I guess we're not here to save everybody in the realms.
We're not.
And
But-
when we get out, I can just save them all with
You're
the
not
story,
here to
so-
save everybody in the
But-
realms.
I mean, if we decide that a mass prison break is the best way to do it, I'm all for it. I think that's if we think we are capable.
We
of
have
doing
to be
that,
willing at that point. If we do that, we have to be willing to accept that some of those people are going to die and some are probably going to get recaptured, and there's nothing we can do about that. Because if we stop trying to save all of them, we're going to die.
And in that moment of silence, Rhiannon, this is correct. We are not here to save everyone. I
thought
don't
couldn't
know
hear
why.
what-
Oh, right. You're correct. No response. Thank you. Okay, go ahead.
Just checking.
I forgot that you were in here and not out here.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You're not here to
Well, that
save
would've been a good
everyone.
way to guess it
Strange
actually
voice.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
okay, Flash Gordon.
I think it makes sense to sort of free the people we can to give them a little more of a chance and hope that they can seize it. But we're definitely not going in sort of like trying to get everybody out one by
Right.
one.
It would be more of a chance than they would have if we left them in the hold.
Yeah, exactly. So that
And-
seems like a good compromise to me.
And if we free Gedrin and then we help Thistle free Thistle, and then she becomes the leader of the city, and then she could abolish slavery, and then they'll all be free anyway.
How
That's
How
what
do
I'm
you
just telling
propose-
myself.
Look, okay, we need to take this one step at a time. Free Ketrin, because like we can't focus on things like freeing Thistle from that masked asshole right now, okay? Like the Night King is gonna Night King, and we
Yeah.
can't worry about that right now.
Remind me, why are we freeing Gedrin? I thought it was something to do with
Destiny.
that whole
It's
thing, but
Elric.
It's just,
It's
it's just,
Elric.
oh, right.
Eric
Oh,
promised
okay.
tell me what.
Yeah, and we're helping that.
Got it. Shadowbane can do much good and free many slaves. There we go. That's
Okay,
Shadowbane
so-
played a key role in overthrowing the Night Masks. Let's not forget that.
okay.
Brass tacks. Allie sneaking on, is that something that you
I think I
And
can handle
then-
that.
can you do anything with like once you get down in the hold, like undoing shackles or anything like
Oh.
that? I don't know.
Allie, do you have a set of picks?
No, I don't have a set of picks yet.
You do now.
Oh,
It's riding in my pocket this whole time.
I'm assuming
Well-
I'm assuming that those are manufactured here on Earth and are made of fine metals, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Is that a correct statement, Joel?
Yes.
Okay, that the way picks work in second edition, Allie, is that the quality of the picks actually gives you a benefit to your percentage chance to do something, which I imagine is probably
Okay.
not very high to start with. I don't remember how you put the points, but I know it wasn't like
Uh,
all in open locks.
yeah, no, I specifically didn't put them into things that I didn't already
Know how
have
to
a
do.
lot of training in. Like,
Gotcha.
so I have the baseline thief open locks, which is not nothing. It's
Yep. This will significantly improve those chances.
okay.
Got it.
Awesome.
Anyway, I'm
You're
sorry,
right on
Rhiannon,
that.
you were wrapping up the collective chat as Eric is leaning back over to you all.
Yeah. And the rest of us, here's the question. I don't know. Should we hail the guards and like talk to them? Because as far as distractions, like I think we should not be at the point of setting shit on fire yet. But
Mm-mm.
or should we just like let Allie go and be ready
I
to
mean, on the one hand, engaging the guards that doesn't tip our hand, but it risks tipping our hand. But it does reduce the potential of someone running across me, at least one of the ones that we can see. We have no way of knowing if there's more on that ship. Hopefully I can be decent about the sneaking though, especially with, I'll pluck at the armor. God knows what this thing does, but I think it does something. If it used to be Alira's, it's got to do something.
and well, I mean, and I guess those of us left on the docks will be have plenty to do with sitting on Eric. So
Isn't
Fair.
Eric going on board the ship with him?
Well, we don't know that yet.
We don't know that.
Oh, okay.
We're making our plan, and then Eric will
but-
be like, "Nope, I'm going."
If I
He's
can,
tall
if,
enough; it'll take at least 3 of us to.
if
swim.
I can zero in, and get the shackle keys off of whoever has them on that ship, then that will be a lot easier to
That's good. Good thought.
get things open. If I can't, though, we have the picks.
I'm dressed somewhat flamboyantly and piratish, so if you need me to like summon the guards or try to create a distraction, I'm happy to do so as well.
You're a
But to
captain
kind
of
be
a
on
nearby
deck.
ship. Fair
Be
enough.
on
I
deck to
mean,
do
that
All right,
could
so-
be
or-
something.
So Eric will return at this point. ahead, Eric.
Well, I wanted to say one more thing to Jamal.
Yep, go ahead.
So, Lady Jamal, can you remind me if slavery is legal?
Just Jamal Shadowbane.
Of course, Jamal. Can you remind me if slavery is legal in Westgate at the moment?
Not officially.
Not officially. Will the watch be very upset if they do find slaves?
There is a decent likelihood that that would be the case. However, I suppose an argument could be made about what territory the ship is if it's not actually inside the city. I don't know.
Mhm.
Were you planning on calling the watch on them?
Oh, no, not necessarily. I just happen to have, shall we say, very strong moral objections to slavery.
As do I.
Yes, I don't think I'm making myself clear. I am aspiring to be a paladin. I'm sure you've met paladins before.
I see hard-headed types, so you'll just be forced to free any slaves we come across.
Not necessarily forced, but strongly compelled.
She'll wink at you and say, I don't have to be a paladin to agree with that.
If we are working on a plan that will eventually free the slaves, I can, of course, restrain myself from doing foolish things in the furtherance of that plan.
I'd like to think I could do the same, but we'll find
Okay.
out.
I just want us to be clear about this going in.
There's a reason that I'm planning on bringing you, Shadowbane, and it isn't just that.
Oh, the team is gonna love this.
And
And then I'll go back.
Yep.
So, how's it going?
So here's our plan. Whispering, but again, not whispering. Allie's gonna sneak on. She can pick locks on shackles, maybe get shackle keys. And we will be ready to provide a distraction, but won't be providing one yet. She'll be working on pure stealth for now. But then we have various sort of options for the distraction we present. So
I see. Jamal intends to accompany Allie onto the ship using magic and her own stealthy abilities
sounds good.
to bring all of her assets to bear to assist us in the completion of our plan.
Okay.
All right. Sounds good.
Does anyone have any objection with that?
I mean, Allie,
No.
it's up to you.
Sounds good to me. If
Okay.
she's gonna method, yeah, I'm not gonna turn down the help.
Have you considered summoning the watch? You probably talked about it.
Why would we do
It-
that?
Just as a last case
I mean, it came up.
means of escaping. I'm sure the watch will be less murderous than the Night Mass or the Thayans.
Probably. Two things though, so like out of character before we do anything else. One, I'm going to take off the red shoulder cape that I'm wearing.
start
And
to
kind of,
get that full stealth mode
Yeah.
on. Yeah.
I'm gonna take that off.
Look, Illyra is extremely flashy and doesn't always make the best fashion choices. So
I know.
yes, I think you're doing the right thing.
Red shoulder cape off. Could I have swiped a mask
Sure,
before
absolutely.
we left?
Yep.
Like a simple like black domino mask type
Yeah.
thing.
There's a ton of those in the costume closet.
So yes, I'll put that on. And all right. Shall we, Shadowbane?
Put on the horn mask.
All right, excellent. All right, so Jamal will say, so have we discussed the plan? We're ready?
We have
Right.
discussed the plan. We're
Excellent.
ready.
So then let me be about it. Go ahead. Did you want to say
I was
something
gonna
else?
say, for the purposes of this, I've been tooling around with the moniker
Mhm.
Nightingale.
Nightingale. I like it.
Sounds good.
Shadowbane and Nightingale. Plus your humble servant, of course.
Of course.
So she'll start casting spells and handing out potions. The first spell she'll cast is on herself. She'll pluck one of the raven feathers from her hair. She'll intone a spell, put it up and down her body, and the raven feather will disappear, and you'll notice she'll float about an inch off of the ground. The second spell she'll cast is a spell on herself to allow herself to see dreamers. Third spell she'll cast, fourth spell she'll cast, fifth spell she'll cast will be on
Jeez.
herself, you, and Allie. You've seen this one cast before. This is a spell that, well, actually, she has to cast one more spell before she can cast this. Sorry. The fourth spell she'll cast is a spell where she'll take out a little bit of copper wire, sort of like, and attenuate the copper wire. And as she does so with her left hand, she'll point with her right hand at each of you. And then she will whisper, the copper wire will disappear, and you will hear right in your ear, as if she was standing next to you, her whispered voice. She will explain that for as long as this spell lasts, she can whisper to all of you at once, and any one of you can whisper to her. You cannot whisper to each other, but she can relay the communications that you make to one another. There must be a straight line of no more than 100 or so paces between you. So when we're below decks, we won't be able to use this to communicate, but if we pop our heads up, we can, and stay in touch with each other from shore to ship. And then she'll cast that spell that you've seen before, where she'll chew some gum, pluck an eyelash for each time she casts the spell, and you will fade out of visibility. So that's you invisible, her invisible, you, Eric, you, Allie, and her invisible.
Wait.
Yes.
Eric was staying with us, was he not? And I know that like
Yeah,
this doesn't happen,
She'll-
but
she's casting spells on him. Do you want to comment after she casts them, before she casts them?
I mean, I think like I wouldn't interrupt her.
Yeah.
Therefore,
So he'll vanish
not
from
done.
sight.
I'm
Yeah.
not very stealthy, so
But why? So why are you going on the ship?
He's Shadowbane, she'll say in a disembodied voice. Shadowbane, the Nightingale, and your humble servant, she'll say in a disembodied voice. This gets better and better every moment. She
Well,
will.
so I'm gonna look to like Joel, and Allie and Randy, and be like,
We better be ready with that distraction.
okay.
She will press some items into people's hands. First, invisibly, she'll press an item into your hand, Eric, and your hand, Allie. She'll say to the two of you, "Don't move, so I know where to find you. But drink this." It's a small potion vial, and she will press two items into your hands, Rhiannon. Well, three. First, she'll press a potion vial. She will say, "To conceal yourselves," and I can't gesture, but towards the docks, do you see that pile of crates and netting? There is about 30 feet from the gangplank that leads up to the ship, a big pile of crates and netting. That's a good place for you to be concealed collectively. And this potion, when she hands it from you and you take it from her, it becomes visible. So it'll zoom into your hand.
Yeah.
It's a little clay vial. Will render you invisible if you take a sip from it. There's about 4 sips, so there should be enough for any one of you to do it. If you launch any kind of attack, you'll become visible. And if you wait more than about the length of 5 long songs, you'll become visible. So only take it when you're ready to move to a position of hiding. You'll want this. She'll hand you the spyglass. And finally, this isn't going to be much use to me below decks. Remember the words, and she'll hand you the wand.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. When you're ready, Shadowbane and Nightingale. And she'll put a hand on each of your backs.
Ready?
Take my
sorry,
hand.
Rhiannon. I will beg forgiveness later.
She will sort of slide her hands down to your hands and offer you her hands, the two of you.
All
She will
right.
say, "Do not let go. Drink the potion and squeeze my hand when you've done so."
All right, I'll drink it and then give the squeeze.
Okay. The potion is thick, like honey, and sweet. But once it goes down the throat, it goes from being thick to being kind of watery. It's a weird phase transition, almost like it's melting in your mouth as it goes down. You'll feel a moment of sort of like giddy disorientation, and you'll float up off the ground. Whoa, that's kind of cool. I assume none of you have flown on your own power before.
Mm.
Definitely not.
Yeah, okay. So you're about to. You've all seen Peter Pan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Think happy thoughts. And she'll guide you up off the ground and over the deck of the ship. And as we do that, we'll take our first break.
Don't go away.
Pick up your gear and open your chests. Throw on your armor and head out on a quest. Hey, hey. It's a brand new day. On the slow coast, your allies will help with blades and bows and magic as well. Hey, hey. Heroes on their way. Fighting together against overwhelming odds. Fighting together in favor of multiple gods. Idle champions of the forgotten realms. Idle champions, adventure never ends. Idle champions, get your wallet there. Idle champions, you will say it again. Idle champions.
And we're back.
Okay. So as I was indicating before we left for break, three of you are huddled nearby, so 100-ish feet from the ship. There's a gangplank that leads up to it, and then the ship proper. And three of you are flying. Jamal holding the two hands of Allie and Eric. As you're arcing up into the sky, if anybody's afraid of heights, this is probably a little bit disturbing for them. Hey, how about that? Because there's nothing beneath you, but you are buoyant and you have some control over where you're going. It's very awkward, and she is fortunately towing you forward, so it's not whatever. And you're not moving very fast, just a couple miles per hour in terms of your actual speed. So it's more gentle than anything. And she'll take you to about 50 feet over the deck. And if you look at the image of the ship, you'll see there's these banks of oars. It's, like I said, long and thin. There's a forecastle and a stern castle. And there's two hatches that lead down below decks. One that's located sort of towards the front, and one that's located sort of towards the back of the ship. She is going to, using the spell that she has, whisper to the two of you, which will whisper to everyone, because that's just sort of the way the spell works. I'm going to put us down, and now I'm going to stop whispering. I'm going to put us down over next to the back hatch, as I don't think we want to drop down into a rower's room. Do you have any response to that, or are you just quiet and let her lead the way?
Yes.
All right, fair enough. All right, so she'll do exactly that. You'll sort of touch down. You'll see that there are three guards. The guards are wearing purplish sort of silk clothing. They're armed with short swords and light crossbows. The symbol at the chests of their clothing is the same as the symbol that she explained was the Zulkir of necromancy that's flying on one of the pennants on the ship. There's one guarding the stern castle door, and two that are just sort of lazily walking long lengths around the ship. So there are moments when they're not near the entry that you're going to go in. She'll wait a minute for that to happen, and then she will sort of float you over that opening. She'll whisper to you, Allie, "I'm letting go. Go in first."
All right.
And let go of your hand.
All right. And I'll
Don't her whispers go to everybody?
It does, but that whisper was directed at Allie. So she'll probably say,
So
Amara.
she can do that. She can do that. Okay.
Well,
right.
she can't, Eric. I'm just saying that the whisper was directed to
Okay.
Allie, so she'll say, "Amara, I'm letting
All right.
go. Go in
Okay.
first. Everyone will hear it." Yeah, go ahead.
All right, and I will acknowledge that with a all right, and then I'll lower myself down.
Okay. You'll lower yourself below decks on the ship. You will immediately be assaulted by smells and sights. The smell is one of decay. Ugh, something's rotting down here, and it is not great. It is a necromancy ship, so maybe that has something to do with it. And there's flies around the room. Well, that's an interesting effect. Your vision is shifting now that you're in a place where there isn't light around from moonlight to infravision. And you'll see that the flies are warmer than the rest of the room. So they're like kind of like fireflies. There's about a dozen of them. You'll experience a moment of a rising gorge in your throat with that decay and this sort of sticky air down here.
Especially with elven senses.
Oh yeah, it's really unpleasant. The hall is only about 12 feet. Hall is only about 12 feet across, and the room you're in is about sort of 10 by 15. There's a door behind you which looks fancier than a door in front of you which looks larger. It is scary and gross down here. What do you want to do in the instant you arrive? Do you wish to touch the ground? Do you wish to hover above the ground?
I'll hover for the moment.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to take more stock of the room itself.
Okay.
Especially as my eyes adjust. And try to get some sense of like there's flies
Mhm.
and a gross smell, but is there anything else in here with me that I can see?
Got it. Roll a 20-sided die for me.
20-sided die. 9.
Okay. No, the room is empty. Just you and the flies. There's a dozen or more flies, and they seem to be oriented along the double doors leading forward. As you're pondering that, she will whisper to you, Eric, Elric, next.
Go.
Okay. And so you will drift down. This is like a hatch with a ladder you'd climb up, like, if you were going into a sewer or something like that. So I know you guys, those are dangerous.
Yeah, I know. We're not touching that ladder.
Yeah. But you can fly right in, so not as much of a problem. You can drop through that hatch. Allie, you'll hear the disturbances in the air that indicate that there's somebody coming in from above you. You may wish to move away from the bottom of
Yeah,
the.
I'll move.
Okay.
I will also whisper, this room's empty. Terrible smell. Might be definitely decay, might be undead.
Okay. And she, hearing that from you, will whisper that back to you, Eric, which means everyone just got that. Oh boy, you're getting an exciting play-by-play.
Right.
And Eric, you will come into the room seeing the same things. With your mask on, you also have infravision. So same experience that Allie had just entering the room.
Okay.
Do you want to do anything immediately upon entry?
Are there any other doors or just those double doors?
Double doors in front. That's where the flies are alighting. Single fancier doors behind.
I'm sure the cargo is not behind the fancy door.
True, but my concern would be that whatever is causing that smell is likely behind the big doors.
True.
And a moment later, Jamal will be coming down. She will say before she is cut off because she loses line of sight to those of you huddled and watching this, I'm headed in. Timora watch over us. And now you've lost the thread of that portion of the conversation. And you guys are on your own on the deck or on the pier. Anything you want to do or wait and listen to the play-by-play as it's available?
Well, we won't hear the play-by-play anymore.
Yeah, as it's available. From time to time, perhaps you'll get updates.
I would suggest whoever has the spyglass watch the ship, and then the other two of us watch either way, looking down the quay, just to make sure that there's, we are aware of what's going on around us. So.
Excellent. Nice use of the word quay.
No.
I was going to say.
It's key. But it's pronounced key.
Nice use of the word key.
Yeah.
I've never heard the word pronounced out loud before.
Yeah, no, it is.
Yeah, that was one of my reader discovering in my early 20s that a word I'd heard and a word that I had read are
Yeah.
actually, in fact, the same because
I-
of the pronunciation.
Yeah,
It's interesting.
I'll pronounce it as Quay to bother one of my partners, but yeah.
Okay.
Is that why it's called Key West?
We're always learning things here on, the Dungeon Scrawlers channel. All right, so Randy, were you going to say a thing? I thought perhaps for a second there you were going to say a thing. No?
No, I was starting to sing sitting on the dock of a quay,
Okay, there you go.
watching for enemies.
Fair enough. All right, so
but anyway,
I have
Brianna.
the spyglass, so I
Yeah.
can keep an eye
Okay.
on the
Okay.
ship.
you'll start to, as you use the spyglass, you'll start to get the rhythm of the guards. So you'll have a sense for it, should that sense be needed for some reason or another. All right, returning below decks. So Jamal will float down. She will whisper using the spell whisper, to all of you, forward, question mark.
What do you think? The stinky doors or the fancy doors?
If we think Gedrin is a slave, then the stinky doors. If we think Gedrin is a high value captive, then the fancy doors.
What would you think? She'll say, he's a boy.
He's a boy tied to a powerful family line. I think captive.
I have a question. You said, so Illyra told you where he was. Did she say that she hid him here or that he was here and taken by the Thayans? Is he hiding? Is he stowing away? Do we know?
I don't think it was really clear.
She was only specific in one way. She said in the hold of.
Okay, so maybe if he's in the hold, then
Stinky
ooh,
doors.
stinky door.
Trying to
All right.
breathe through my nose.
I love
Right.
how the doors become stinky door.
I hid him in a very safe place among all the zombies. All right.
Okay, so stinky door it is.
Light, why are you like this?
You'll quickly sort of take a look at the door. It's got the potential to be locked, but whether it is or isn't is really just a question of trying the pull rings.
I guess we tried the pull rings. Wait,
All right.
I'm not gonna be good at it, but I'm gonna try to check the door and see if there's any like traps or mechanisms or anything on there.
Fair.
Not good at it, but I still have a chance.
Roll me some percentile dice. As the DM in second edition, you reserve the right to roll those dice for yourself or to have the players roll the dice. In this particular instance,
All right.
I'll have the player roll. You need to tell me, Allie, if you want success to be low or high when you roll.
Okay. I'll do that again then. I'll go for high.
Okay, so for forever and for always, you're always looking for a high number when you're rolling your thief
All
skill.
right. Yes. See, that would have worked really great if I'd kept that first roll. But that didn't feel fair to me. I got a 35.
You're highly confident that it's not trapped for what it's worth.
Okay, that helps.
Okay.
Right.
So sensing no traps, a couple of moments anxiously pass. Eric, while that's the case, a fly comes perilously close to you during that period of time. You'll shoo it away.
All right.
Go ahead.
All right. Once I'm fairly certain I don't think it's trapped, I can't see each other, but I will start pulling the door open.
The doors open. They're hideously loud as far as you're concerned, although probably not as loud as you think they are, because someone has just not oiled them, and so they'll make that horrible screeching noise that doors do when they're not properly oiled. Double doors, you're using just one of them. And immediately, wow, it is a charnel house in there, because if you thought the smell and the flies were bad in the hallway, oh my, they're bad in the room. But the door will open. It opens out in your direction.
Yeah.
As it does, you'll see that you're looking down the barrel of a really long room, beyond the reach of your infravision. Eric, not beyond the reach of yours. Yours is 90 feet, so you'll be able to see the sort of end of this room. row after row after row of ore benches, all of which are occupied, about 4 on one side, 4 on the other, by sort of slumped over bodies.
Uh-huh.
Great.
Well,
Ooh, the flies. The flies are all over them.
yep. Can't say this is a surprise.
She'll say.
Nope, I'm not remotely surprised at all.
We have infravision, so we're going to scan the room looking for somebody who is warmer than the bodies.
All right, please roll twice on a die.
All right.
Hopefully warmer. Yeah.
I got a 5.
Okay, 5. Within the range of your infravision, there is no one or nothing other than the flies that fits that description.
I got a 12.
All right, you don't see anything, Eric.
All right. Float through, keep looking.
Okay.
If someone's hiding in the shadows, I would see them because of the mask, right?
That is correct, if they were within the range of your vision.
All right, well, I'm going to carefully float forward.
Okay, so leading
Same.
is Allie, followed by you, followed by Jamal. Is that a correct statement?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So as you get into the room, you'll see that, again, rowers' benches, 4 to the right, 4 to the left, bodies, all the way up a row of over a dozen benches, maybe as many as 15, with a narrow channel between them, sticky with dried blood, or tacky, sort of semi-dried blood. Seated at each are dead people, 8 to a bench. Bodies of men, young to old in age, chained in place with collars chained around their throat, chained to the oars. Their throats obviously cut. They fought and died where they were, but they were chained in place, so there really wasn't much of a fight. Their milky eyes now stare ahead, sort of slumped in place eternally.
Well,
There's
that's great.
There's this brief moment of terror that maybe you're about to enter a room full of 100 undead that are going to be hungry for your, souls. But Jamal will say, it's probable, and I'm going to stop whispering now, that they don't care about us, although the invisibility will not fool them if they suddenly do. It looks to me like these people were alive not too long ago. But to deal with that problem of slavery, they cut their throats before they rolled into port. Bastards.
All that
that
both
Eric and his sword are angry. Yes, Allie.
Shadowbane.
It's all right.
Take a breath.
I'm all right.
Oh.
I'm controlling it.
I'd say take a breath, but please
Not in here. Not in here.
Breathe through your mouth. Breathe through your mouth.
Fire just became plan A again.
Regardless, this complicates but also simplifies our plan a little bit in some ways. So just focus.
I'm focused. I'm
Eric.
calm.
Funny, when Allie said focus, one thing, remember, you're all invisible, so you can't see each other. You're just sort of like a few feet away from each other, and you're navigating by voice. Jamal's probably the blindest in here because she doesn't have infravision. So she's probably relying on all of you, and occasionally she'll probably bump into you, Eric, because she can't really see very well in here, but she's leading with her hands.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I was going to say,
yeah.
when Jamal does that, I'm going to reach back and take her hand gently.
Okay. She'll just...
So that we're linked up.
She'll get her hand loose from yours so that she can keep it free, but she'll put it in the center of your back so that she knows where you are. When Allie says focus and you indicate that you are focused, you will notice for the first time as you look around the room a couple things. Thing one, at the front of this room on a raised platform, front being like forward from where you are, is a gigantic drum upon which are sitting 2 drum baton. Oh God, those are like leg bones. Ugh.
Of course they are.
That's probably how this ship moves. And you remember how you were looking for things hiding in the shadows? Yeah, right inside the door, which is ever so slightly ajar, leading out of this place, right behind those drums, at the first row of benches, flattened against the ground, which is why you didn't see it till you just got close enough to get the proper vantage, is a halfling-sized body, and it's warm.
Aha.
What do you want to do, Eric? You're
First
the
off,
only
don't
one who
touch the
sees
drum.
that. You'll say, "Don't touch the drum."
That I will say that actually we don't want a Moria incident. Don't touch that drum.
I think I see him. I'm whispering. So Jamal will hear me and can relay.
He's
Hiding by the door.
hiding by the door.
Or just lying there unconscious by the door. I don't know. He's there by the door.
He thinks it might be the boy. So, let's go get him.
Careful. Get closer. You don't know if this is a trap.
That's what. Nah, I'm counting on you, Amara,
All right.
to determine
So
if it's a trap.
So let's. Well, I meant more in the. Never mind.
Like ambush sort of trap?
Yes.
Yes, I understand.
I'm
Wait,
gonna.
wait. This is Jamal. Wait. If it's the boy, we're invisible.
That's true.
We can speak though, right?
Yeah, so you can also just make yourself visible by slapping yourself anywhere.
Right.
All right. Let's
Let me
get
give
close.
this. Let me give this a shot. We get close.
Okay, so
Unless you have an idea, Amara.
close.
Well,
Like
if we can
hovering
determine-
above him.
Okay.
If we can determine it's him, I don't know the exact mechanics of my little shadow hopping ability yet, but
You might be able
I'm-
to take him with you.
I might. I don't know.
Let me. Okay.
I also don't know how often I can do it. So using it earlier tonight might have been the only time.
All right.
So we can't
Well,
rely on it.
okay. If those zombies come to life, get them out of here.
Understood.
Okay, so
All right.
you've closed to within about 10 feet of the
Mhm.
figure on the ground, Eric.
Okay.
It
Has
is
he been moving around or like
like
does he seem to be
laying
like
flat. Roll a 20-sided die.
8?
You think he's hiding. He's breathing. You can see his chest rising and falling. He's face down in the sticky blood. But he probably heard the doors open and didn't see anybody roll inside. Not that he could see much in this place anyway.
Right. Gedrin Thalavar.
You'll hear a squeak come from him, and he'll
He's trying to traumatize the boy.
I am not.
and he'll
Doing it
scramble
anyway.
up. He's headed for the door, Eric.
I'll speak up. Gedrin, stop.
Be calm, Gedrin Thalavar.
Why are you talking like that? Gedrin, we're here to help you.
Okay.
I am your father.
So you will talk over each other a bit. Roll 2 10-sided dice, Allie.
All right.
Christ. Trying to do a thing and people are just like, no,
They won't let you have your thing, Eric.
But it's a dumb thing.
it's not necessarily a dumb thing.
Rhiannon,
Okay.
dumb things make for great entertainment.
67. 67.
Okay, so it's actually a 13 plus your charisma modifier. So the boy will stop. He'll spin around. He's looking like, because there's voices coming out of nowhere here, and he's trying to see it, and he looks confused. Eric, this is him for sure. He's filthy. He's wearing torn clothes. He's got sort of cuts all over him, like he was squeezing through something. He's covered in filth. Some dried blood on the whole front end of him.
All
But
right.
he's got that fierce determination in his eyes, and you are immediately, Eric, struck by how much the boy resembles you. It's not in the hair or in the tone of the skin, but the eyes, the nose, the chin. And this is much more real in person because you're seeing him from just a few feet away. This could be your son in the
Yeah,
flesh
it's
if you had one.
Like looking at a middle school yearbook.
I've got a terrible idea.
Let me do my terrible idea
Do
first.
your terrible
Oh,
idea
yeah,
first.
do the terrible
There's a
idea.
hierarchy of terrible ideas, and we have to execute it properly.
We're going to try them all.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Gedrin, the god of guardians, is watching over you. You are safe.
I will invisibly.
I am. It's Papa. Is that you? Is that you? That's a little loud, Allie.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh,
Papa, can you
here.
hear
Okay,
me?
at this point, I'm just gonna be like, not to him, to me.
But yes, got it. So you'll
I-
appear out of nowhere in the
yeah.
air. He'll
Yeah.
jump slightly and look up. Is that you're not? Who
Are
are
you
you?
all- I know I might look familiar. We were sent by a friend.
Oh, what? Ah! And he'll turn as if he's running for the door again.
I'm gonna land on the other side of him.
Okay, you are boom blocking the door.
And
He'll
I'm gonna catch
collide
him.
with you. What? What? When you do
Don't
that,
worry.
when you lay hands on him, Eric, you become visible.
Right.
Okay.
Don't worry. We're here to rescue you.
So, a couple things. Thing one, Allie, roll 27 die for me.
All right. 4.
Okay. Yeah, the reason he must have panicked when you said that, you pointed out that you look like somebody who's had hands on him recently, and then you said you were sent by that person. How did he end up in the hold of a slave? Ooh, maybe he doesn't consider that person to be his friend. That's the piece of insight I
Yeah,
wanted
no,
to give to you.
I kind of pieced that together myself.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Eric, he sees you. He's a boy, like he's 4 or 5 years old. So like emotions as they occur are right on his face when you see them, and he'll just clock through a series of like shock, and then this sort of softness, and then sort of like tears, and he just throws himself around your legs bodily, and he starts sort of quietly crying and saying, Papa, Papa, I knew they were lies. I knew you weren't really gone. I knew it wasn't you in the ground. I knew that I saw you, that you spoke to me last night.
Sorry.
Need to get you out of here, Gedrin.
Yes.
Come with us.
Yes, we can sort
But-
this out later. We're going to get you to help.
Okay, we
Think
can't leave without them.
Who?
The people below. There's a dozen or more, maybe 2, and Bedrin he helped me up to the hole in the ceiling for the rats.
Don't worry, Gedrin.
We'll
You
take
can't
care of
always
it.
save everybody, but we will save everyone we can.
Okay, so here's a thing, Eric. You know how I described how his expressions changed, right? You will make that statement, and as you make that statement, you will see his expression go from joy and hope to be in the hands of his father to shock and sadness, and he will say, I I failed. It's my fault, Papa. I promised you I would watch that I would guard them. And he starts sobbing. But then the monster came and I tried to fight him. I tried to protect them, but he was too strong and I was too small. And they're gone, Papa. They're dead. I'm sorry.
I'm not going to touch the kid, but because clearly that's probably a poor choice at this point. But I'm going to say you didn't do anything wrong.
I know you tried, lad.
He is just sobbing in your arms.
Let's get you out of here. We'll see what
You
else we
should
can do.
probably take him. I'll
Yep.
I'll see if I can figure out what to do about the people below.
What are we about? It's dark as the abyss in here.
We have the
That's
boy.
Jamal. I heard
Time to
that bit.
leave.
What about the people below?
Are there living people below?
Who are you asking?
Okay, Gudrun, this is very important.
Yes,
You said
yes,
they were
Papa.
dead. Do you mean all the people below are dead?
He's having a hard time communicating this to you, but he will between racking sobs. Mama and my sister.
I got you. All right. It's okay. I think there are people below.
This
Oh.
person he mentioned someone's name. That's Jamal.
Who did you say helped you?
Beldrin, he's below. He's below with the people. But there's monsters. There's monsters guarding them. Beldrin said that the lady fed one of them to the monsters.
This might be harder than simply unshackling them.
Well, if we're going to do something, we should do it soon. That's Jamal. These spells will only last so long.
Then let's-
Amara,
Then let's move.
would you take the boy?
I could try.
Well, if anyone's going to get him off the ship, it's going to be you or Jamal.
All right.
I can take him if needs be, but you're probably going to have to tell him to let go of you. He's holding on pretty tight.
Gedrin, this is my friend Amara. She might look like that bad lady, but she's not the same.
He's breathing heavily. He's looking at you. He will nod. I will do as you say, Papa.
I want you to go with her.
Okay.
And I
He
want you
will
to stay somewhere safe.
gingerly get down from your arms and walk over to you, Allie.
All right. This might be difficult, but I need you to. Well, I'm going to try something. It may not work, but if it does, I'm going to need you to hold on tightly. Can you do that?
Yes. He has a look of fierce determination in his eyes that
All right.
belies his tender age, and he will grab you around the knees.
Okay.
One last thing before you do your thing. Gedrin,
He's now turning his
This-
head in your direction. Yes,
this is
Papa.
very important. One day, this sword will be yours. Do not run from it.
I will never run, Papa. Never again.
All right.
Be well.
As soon as I get Gedrin's safety, I will be back.
Mhm.
I'm not going to leave you in here by yourself.
Yeah.
Even with by yourselves, I should say. All right. Hopefully
You
this
should
works.
when you get out, tell Rhiannon plan A happened against our best efforts.
You're not. Bloody hell. All right. I will kind of, if I can, I will crouch down and kind of pull Gedrin a little closer, just to make sure he's like
he's
secure.
covered in filth, reminding you about that.
It's fine.
Got it.
And then I
runs in
will
the family.
whisper. I'll whisper the words.
Yes.
Guinevere Sahan.
Ah, excellent. You will feel yourself falling through cold space and lurching forward. What direction were you hoping to go in?
Towards the docks.
Okay.
Where they were.
Specifically
where-
anywhere in particular? Or just towards the docks?
Specifically, if I saw someplace out of the way, someplace out of sight.
Well,
So
we
not
have the crates and netting and stuff.
That's
was-
true.
So near where you expect everyone else to be?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to say, Joel, you're the one watching in this direction. Because remember, you've got people watching in both directions. When suddenly, about 6 feet away, a person just appears out of nowhere, like sort of dumped out of shadow. It takes you an instant and your hand on your weapon before you realize that that person is two people, an elven woman and a boy, and 2, Amara, and hopefully Katrin. Ooh, they're sticky with blood. You, Rhiannon, and you, Randy, will, whoa, what was that? An instant later. What have you guys got to say to each other?
That's blood. Is everything okay? Where's Arrow?
And the boy throws up all over you, Allie.
Oh. I should have
He is
expected
only
that.
5.
Dirty job.
Rescue. This is Gedrin. I'll just roll on. This is Gedrin. We found him in a section where the rowers are supposed to be. The Thayans killed all of them. I brought him out so that he can be safe, but there are more people in the hold alive, but they're being kept there. They're being kept in check by monsters, he says. I'm going to go back and try to help, but it sounds like, given that he started talking about Plan A, that Elric, that Shadowbane intends to set fire to the ship.
How will that get help?
I don't know. I'm going to go back.
Help. People in cages in the bottom aren't going to be able to get out. This is a terrible plan.
We don't know they're in cages. They're in a room.
Okay, if they're somehow trapped. Okay. Please make sure
Anyway.
they have a means of egress before you set the fire.
Yes, that's my plan. But we need to figure out okay. I'm going to leave Gedrin here. Gedrin,
Mhm.
these are our friends.
What, in the vomit from his mouth?
These are our friends. Rhiannon, Randonius, and Joel.
Are you all friends of my father?
Go with it.
Yes. Yes.
In a way,
Yes.
indeed.
We'll just. Okay.
Papa told me that I'm going to wield a
already.
sword, and I'm never going to have to run again.
Yeah, that's what I said.
That's
I'm
true.
sure Elric did.
That's a discussion for another time.
For now, you'll be safe with them if you can figure out a way to get onto at least some of you protect the kid, but if you can figure out a way to help us on the ship too. I don't obviously think it's a good idea to just leave everyone on the docks. I don't know, but
Though you said the rowers were undead also?
the rowers are dead.
Did you kill oh, they're dead. Okay.
No, they're dead and shackled to the oars. I think they're fine.
Okay.
Even if they got up, they're pretty solidly shackled in place. But I'll need to get back, but just to make sure they don't set fire to the whole ship. But there are living people, so
Okay. Well,
right.
go and damage control,
yes, I will do
and then
that.
we'll figure out what we're doing up here.
Good idea.
Guards.
Can you take
Um,
one of? Should she take one of us, or maybe Joel
Uh,
or you?
I can
Rhiannon,
try.
with her to
Do
help
we
with
have
the
any
I
idea
am
how
damage
to,
not
control.
going on that ship.
Okay.
Do we have any idea how the ship is controlled?
What's that?
Say
Do we
that
have any
again?
idea how the ship is controlled?
No. Well, there is a drum that they seem to use to.
I look over at Randy with his little drum. Like, we can,
Don't touch the drum.
If we can get you on board, maybe we
Don't-
can get it. Maybe we can crash this thing,
I feel like that's
or
almost
just get it headed out to sea and then destroy the drum once they already have their course set.
And in that time that you are all talking about these things, I wonder how much trouble can be occurring back on board the ship. So back on board the ship, Eric, it's you and Jamal. So what's the plan, Shadowbane?
So there are captives still below, guarded by some manner of monster.
Do we know
believe I
anything about it?
No. I believe I warned you before about the paladin issue.
You did. I'm hoping I get to see some of that right now.
Well, take care of yourself. And then I go kick that door open.
Oh no.
Wait, so you'll kick the door open. Remember, it was ajar, right?
Yeah.
It
That's why I
opens,
just kick it open.
Yeah, it opens into a small sort of like hallway, somewhat similar to the one in the back. This is sort of the prow as opposed to the stern version of that hallway. It has a door for a chamber. Again, somewhat fancy door for a chamber directly ahead. That door is also ajar. And then it has a hole, like a hatch, although it's open, just like the one that you used to get from the top decks to this deck, with a ladder leading into the darkness, sort of directly in front, maybe 8 feet away from where you'll kick the door open. You'll see that as you walk out into the room. You were sort of expecting something. You don't see it here. You'll recall that the boy said down below, so it's quite possible that whatever's down there is down there. As you stagger into the room, she will come up behind you and she'll say, wait, I have a way of making it quiet.
I don't think that's really necessary. Do you?
I mean, if we start a fight here, if we want to kill the monster without rousing the entire ship, it might be helpful.
All right. We'll play it your way.
Okay.
I thought you said you wanted to see some thrilling heroics.
I do. I just don't want to get us killed immediately.
All right.
Okay.
Well,
So she'll produce.
Thrilling, effective, thrilling.
She'll produce a small, like, clay spear, and she'll say, Mintacid makes these. If I throw it, the clay breaks, and silence, magical silence, springs up around it for the length of about 3 long songs. I'm going to hurl it down below, and then you can charge in with your heroics and do whatever you like. I'll back you up with a spell as needed.
Well, watch my back because I won't be able to hear the monster coming behind me.
Oh, I think you'll see it.
Perfect.
All right.
Go
Okay.
for it.
Okay, so zoink, she'll drop it in there and you'll hear it crack and then nothing else.
Okay,
Meanwhile-
slide down the ladder.
Back on the deck, or on
Given-
the pier.
Given how we all know Elric tends to be, we should probably move quickly. So if someone's coming with me, pick somebody, because whoever.
Randy or Joel?
Brandy.
Brandy.
I like the drum playing.
Okay.
All right. I don't like the drum plan, but we'll figure it out when we get on.
So I was gonna suggest Randy take Gedrin, but instead I'll hold up my hands
Yeah.
to Gedrin.
Okay, he'll come over and take yours. Hi,
Um
he'll say.
I think that maybe you can stay with me, because I'm gonna stay here because my spells reach to the ship without being on it.
You're a
and-
wizard?
I'm a sorcerer.
Sorcerer?
It's slightly different.
Hmm.
So what
Do you have
can
a dagger?
No.
Do you have a knife?
Eric gave me one at one point, didn't he?
I
He did.
Yeah. So yeah, I still have that.
Can I have it?
Ooh.
How can I protect you without it?
So
Aw.
what you're gonna do is you're gonna watch, and then you're gonna tell me, and then I will hit anybody who comes up with a spell.
Fine.
Thank you. Watching is very important.
All right.
Okay.
Well, Randy, and I'll just kind of open my arms like I'm gonna give him a hug. Shall we?
Oh, I love hugs. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
okay. So,
I will hug back, and I'll try to do the thing again.
all right, warm hug to a cold place. So you will hug each other. You'll say the words.
Mm-hmm.
You'll feel yourself lurching forward again through sort of like cold darkness. Randy, that's a little disturbing. Oh,
Yeah.
that's super cold. Like if you got stuck there, it's one of those like drifting in space situations where suddenly, so you don't want to be doing that.
I'm holding my breath.
Yep. And you'll sort of shiver through on the opposite side, and you're standing where you're trying to be. It has to be somewhere you've been.
Yeah, I was trying to do for the hold, the place where we were before with the zombies.
Okay, so in a room in the dark,
Dead
smelled with the
people,
stench
not
of
zombies.
Dead people.
smelled with the or smelling rank with the stench of death, Randy. So could you please roll a 20-sided die between the absolute cold and the horrible, horrible stench, and the flies.
Absolutely. I rolled a 20. I don't know if that's good or bad.
In this instance, it's bad. I'll say
Of
this
course.
almost as deadpan as I did last time. And then he throws up all over you, Allie.
People need to stop doing that.
Sorry.
It's
So-
fine. It's
Ow,
Eating all
leather.
that cherry bread. All
Ah,
right.
it's in my hair. Ah.
It's fine. It's leather. It will clean.
So on that
That'll
note,
buff out.
jumping back
It's fine.
downstairs. So Eric, do you need to take the shimmy ladder or do you just fly? Because you can do that.
Oh, I can just fly, can't I? Yeah, I just float down there. I have
Okay.
a mask on, so I can see in the
See
dark.
in the dark. So
And I
you
can
will
see hidden things, but I can't see invisible things.
you will land in utter silence. So it's a little bit like,
Superhero landing.
yeah,
Total
one of those
silence.
total silence. In front of you, another one of those doors, sort of fancy, right? And just sort of like hold behind you. In front of that door, just sort of crouched in front of the door, but super excited now that it has a new friend, is what once was a man, but it's a man no longer. It has almost sort of like a wolfish, elongated muzzle that has come out from like its otherwise human face with dripping fangs and teeth, horrible claws on both its hands and its feet. And it's sort of in between a man and a dog's posture. It's covered in sores, and roll 20-sided die. Lanky hair.
Don't do meth, kids.
That would be
Don't.
a 7 that I
That's
just rolled.
excellent advice. If you had to guess, this feels like a ghoul to you.
Yep.
It will see you, and it is on, as the kids say. So,
Oh yeah, I attack it immediately.
what do you want to do this round? Just hack? Your sword
Hack it
will
with the
flare to
sword.
life. Okay. Okay. And so I need you to roll a d10.
Right. Rolled a 2.
Okay. You're going first, which is lucky because these things
That
get 3
is.
attacks.
Right.
Okay.
And
So
they can paralyze people.
they can. That's true.
Not elves.
Not
Yeah,
elves.
but I'm not an elf. Okay, I rolled 17.
But you're
17
not
hits a
elves.
ghoul. Damage,
Cool.
please. Please add your d4 of additional fire damage.
Oh yeah. All right. I rolled a 4 and a 4.
Okay, so that's 8 plus 4 is 12 plus 4 is, or plus, oh, the 4 is on the, you're rolling 2d4 for the weapon. That's a 4 and a 4, 8. Then you're rolling
Right.
an additional d4 for the fire damage.
That was another 4.
Oh, so maximum damage, which convenient because it had 16 hit points. You will lay in with your flaming blade and you will literally sever its head from its body as it moves in your direction before it even has a chance to get off the balls of its feet. It'll tunk to the left. And now you're
Okay.
standing in front of an unguarded door.
I follow the momentum around and look around behind me to see if there are any more of those things.
There are not within the range of your sight, which is about 90 feet. There is the hold behind you, which is filled with an assortment of goods, and you can smell seawater from sort of the bilges beneath it.
People?
No people.
Okay. I turn back to the door.
Okay. While you do that, upstairs, in between you, Allie and Eric, is Jamal. What do you want to do? You can see Jamal's back.
So is Jamal visible?
Yes, Jamal is now visible.
Where did Elric go?
And she'll take a leap and poosh, fly down there herself.
All right. Shall we? I'll say to Randy before I go and I jump down my. I'll move and jump. I'm not even waiting.
You definitely want to be out of this room, Randy. It is just, well, you heard me describe it, quite unpleasant in here.
But there's the drum, yes?
There is a gigantic kettle drum with these 2 human femurs that appear to be sitting on it as drumsticks. Did you, I don't know, want to do something with that?
Dude, brought
Is it-
Randy.
I didn't.
Does it look like
don't touch
the
drum.
does it look like the rowers could be unchained? Like, do I have that capability, or are they like?
So
like
if the rowers were to be unchained, it would probably require either keys or maybe like a little thing to knock the pinions out of the chains or something along those lines. Do you have either of those devices?
I don't think so, other than like using the handle of the short sword or whatever to like.
Or I suppose you could try to cut them loose by severing the portions of their bodies that would otherwise allow them to be free of the chains.
Okay. And there were people on deck above, right? Who
There
are
were,
thus
yes.
far unaware of our presence. Okay.
So far, so good.
I will hold off on the drum, and I will stand at the top of the hatch and kind of assess like whether I'd be more useful down there. I have a backup plan to try and help it just in case.
Gotcha.
if
How are you
things go poorly.
seeing in here? You're the only person that doesn't have an ability other than Jamal to really see much in this place. Do you want to?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and do the nightlight thing.
All right, so candlelight range, 5 feet-ish. Okay, that'll give you dim shadows out around you. Okay, so Eric, you in total darkness.
I'm gonna say, hey, shout if you need help, because I don't know that there's silence.
There's silence down there. So you'll hear that, Allie, right before you enter the area of silence. And Eric, you're down there in total silence, looking around, reorienting on the door, and Jamal will come landing behind you, sort of like waving in your general direction.
Yep. Touches me on the shoulder. I'm like, ah.
Mm-hmm. What do you want to do?
Can't. All right. I guess we're going through that door.
Okay. she will gesture in the direction of the door.
Mhm. I will nod.
Nod. She'll turn her hand in a particular gesture, snapping her thumb, sort of like you won't hear it, but a little light will appear when she does that. So throwing about as much light as Randy threw off. So now she can sort of see around her because hard to otherwise do that. Not enough to throw off your infravision, Allie.
Okay.
It's
good.
really dim light, but she just needed to be able to see something down here.
I am definitely drawing that stiletto, though. I'm
Okay,
hoping that
boom,
the magical
in hand.
that the magical effects will be something useful here.
Yep. And Eric, she'll sort of pantomime at the door, like smashing the lock or something. Maybe that's what she's trying to communicate.
Huh. My lady, so violent.
All right, you'll say that in the total silence and take a crack with the lock. Allie, you're just coming down when you see that Eric is taking a crash at a lock on the door, and Jamal is standing behind him with that tiny bit of light. What do you want to do when you see that go down?
Say what I'm seeing again. Go ahead.
Eric is about to try to bash the door open.
Oh.
Like if it's locked or whatever, he's about to use his sword to bash it open.
I will put a hand on his shoulder and hold it and be like that. Like,
okay, so Eric, you're cocked back when Allie will arrive by flight and startle you again for an instant. Allie again, total darkness or total silence.
I'll hold up the lockpicks. And then I will try to pick the door.
Okay. Do you wish to determine if the door is locked first?
Yes, I will try to do.
Okay.
Dear God. You didn't even check. Never mind. Okay.
The door is not locked. Apparently the monster was an adequate protection against people inside getting out.
Look, it's hero time. There's no time for things like that.
Like I'll move from the picks. I'll start to pull them out, and then I'm like, wait, and I'll pull on the door. It's like and then I'll do that slow head turn toward Eric with that glare, like.
Okay. This is Jamal.
Okay.
I make like a kicking motion toward the door.
No, I just open it.
Okay. And the door will come open. As the door opens, the silence area will sort of spill into the room. Think of it as light or shadow. It's kind of got the same properties. And you'll see that, about 20 feet deep, it's really sort of like a storage room, but it's just piled full of people at this particular moment. And they're all huddled up against the far corner of the room. When weird stuff started occurring outside, they must have decided that they needed to be over there. There's easily a couple of dozen of them. They're mostly kind of sort of a mix of men and women, mostly men. But these people are old or sick, or they don't look in particularly great health. One almost wonders why you would keep them as slaves. I mean, unless they seem alarmed that there are armed people in the doorway.
I show them the symbol of helm on the sword.
He'll point to his sword. They're kind of looking at each other. One person, a man, maybe in his 50s, or maybe he's just lived a hard life, emaciated, but, and filthy beard, but braver than the rest, will stand forth. They're wearing really like loincloths, right? Or the tattered remains of clothing that they might have been wearing a few days ago. And he'll sort of gesture to the rest of the people and he'll move forward in your direction. You can tell he's talking, but obviously you cannot hear him.
Yep.
And he's saying, if you're going to cut us down with a sword, start with me.
I am Spartacus.
Yeah. I hold my hand up like the symbol of helm. And then I point to myself.
He'll cock his head. What are you doing, Allie?
Well, okay, so is the silence filling this room? Is it possible for me to move out of it?
It's clear from the man attempting to talk that there's at least a portion of this room where there's no silence because he can hear himself or he wouldn't have kept talking.
I'll be like, I'll kind of hold up like the wait gesture, and then I will walk forward. Like I'll put my dagger back in the sheath and I'll walk forward and until I get close enough that I can hear what he's saying.
Okay. And you see Eric doing the "I have come in
Mhm.
peace" stuff that he's doing to attempt to communicate. Eric, as Allie's moving forward, do you also want to move forward, or are you just going to stay where you are?
No. I'll wait. I'll let Allie do this.
Okay. All right. So
Allie's the
Allie,
one with the breathtaking charisma, so we're good.
true.
All right.
So you'll take a step out, and suddenly you're now in normal hearing again. Little ringing into the ears as it was preternaturally silent.
Allie, thank the gods. All right.
Oh, the gods! Thank them indeed. Who are all of you? Is that a paladin? He's pointing at Eric.
I'll point back. He's known as the Shadowbane.
I've never heard of him. But thank the gods, Helm, thank Helm,
yes,
that we brought him here.
He's a servant of Helm. But more than that, we were asked by the young boy, Gedrin, to save you all.
He got to help? He only left here 15 minutes ago.
Luckily enough, we were here looking for him.
Oh, well, thank all the gods, Helm foremost among them. We have to get out of this place before the lady returns.
Agreed.
Oh boy.
We'll need to move quickly.
Some of my people are going to have a little bit of trouble with that, but the stronger will help the weaker. There's about 22 of us.
22? All right. Those of you who are stronger, if you can find anything on the way out to use as a weapon, you might need it.
There are about a half a dozen of us who might be able to fight.
All right. I think at that point I'll even draw my longsword and I'll pass it over to one of them.
He'll take it. He is the most capable of the people here, which is how he's sort of appointed himself in charge, or they have collectively appointed him. Hard to say. Okay.
All right. I'll help those who need it as best you can. My Shadowbane has dispatched the monster that was outside the door.
Thank the gods, that thing was terrifying. It ate one of us.
So I heard. In any case, shall we? No point in dawdling.
Yes, let's get out of here. Eric, on your shoulder behind you is Jamal, tapping you.
Yep, I look back at her. All right, I head back out.
Okay.
Do I see any guards or any undead creatures that have come into the area of silence?
Nope.
I'm just staying very aware, very perceptive. All right, I will fly back up if the flight is still active.
It is. Where are you headed to?
As far as I know, the only way out is the staircase at the back of the ship. Is that the case, or does there appear to be another exit?
There are two staircases, one at the back of the ship, one somewhere in the front, but you haven't found where it goes to yet. You would have thought it would have dumped out into this room, but apparently it doesn't. So that's a little puzzling.
From the top, which of those is nearer to the gangplank?
The rear one.
Okay, so I'm taking them there, I guess.
All right.
Past all the corpses.
You will encounter something, however, as you're about to depart and you exit the silence. It's a Randy. Yep. There he is, just standing at the hotted Randy. And here he is on. Oh, and there's Eric.
Okay, I hug Randy.
Aw, hey, Eric.
Randy, you're getting all the hugs today.
You know this is probably extremely dangerous.
Oh, yeah.
Did she bring you because of the drum?
Yeah, I think
it's
so.
The drum. It's obviously the drum. Okay.
Thought the drum was a bad idea.
The drum. So, well, if I take it you're trying to free all of the slaves?
We have a dozen, did we say? 2 dozen?
22.
22. Almost 2 dozen.
Okay. And which door are you going out?
Back that way. I'm pointing along the the room full of corpses.
Yup.
The hold of 1,000 corpses.
Yup.
Well, I could try and create a distraction for you.
What
And
kind?
maybe...
And I look at the drum. Is that
like,
what she mean?
Yes. And perhaps if you initially were to bar the back hatch, they would come in through the front hatch, and and then as soon as they start coming in through the front hatch, you guys can go out the back hatch.
That's actually a really good idea. Okay, all right. Is there enough space to have all those people like around the area of the back hatch?
Yes,
Okay,
it's a big room.
all
or
right.
big enough room.
We're gonna shuttle everybody through.
Yeah.
So Allie,
then-
you and Jamal have been doing that. Have been slowly
Yeah,
getting
well-
them up the stairs. Yep. Okay, go ahead.
Just avert your eyes from all the corpses.
Oh yes, look down, hold your breath. Stagger across the room as fast as you can. You'll get some people vomiting, but there's nothing for it. So
Not on me, so I'm okay.
yeah, they want to get out of here. This is their last chance at life, so they are happy to do whatever you tell them to do. And you've gathered them all in that room.
Okay. Okay, Allie,
Yes.
Amara, do you want to stay here and guard this end, or should I? One of us has to lead these people off. One of us has to stay behind and make sure that everyone gets off.
I can stay. If my armor has any more juice, I don't know if that's the armor. If I have any more juice left in me, I can probably leap away. You don't have
Okay.
that ability.
Then I will lead these people off.
All right.
Jamal will
I'll
say we should
stagger out.
alert the people. We should alert the people that are waiting for us. That we're about to try to rush the dock. Should we try? Should we try to take out the guards that are on duty? Do we try to rush by them? What would you like to
We're
do?
going to try and lure the guards down below and then rush past them.
Okay, let me communicate that. And she'll pop up so just her head is above the level of the hatch and quickly whisper out to the people on the docks the plan. Anything whispered back?
I'm confused as what the plan is, honestly. Maybe I'm not visualizing the.
All right,
the action itself.
There are 3 guards on the deck.
Right.
There are 2 entrances to the below,
Mhm.
fore and aft. We're going to bar the aft entrance, and then we're going to make a loud noise distraction to lure them down, and they're going to come down the forward entrance.
Mhm.
When they come down the forward entrance, we're going to open the back entrance
Okay.
and lead the people off the ship.
Okay.
That's the
And
plan.
then, and then Allie and Randy will shadow jump out.
Assuming that they can, yes.
Or
Okay.
follow.
Or they're going to run
Well-
like hell and get out the ship the same way we just went.
I mean, okay. I don't know if this thing's going to go underway once you start playing the drums.
We'll figure it out.
Right.
We'll see.
Plan Chaos Muppet it is.
Okay, so they have communicated that information. Very well. Execute this crazy plan, Eric.
Yes.
So step 1, bar hatch.
Yep.
Okay. You will
I
find that
assume there's a convenient bar that's just
it
waiting there.
is. It's the hatch is down, right? Like swung down so that you'd have to push it up into place. And there are actually bars that allow you to bar it from both below and above. So you're just going to bar
Batten
it
the
from
hatches.
below. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. You will slide that into place quietly enough because you'll have the assistance of Jamal to do it. And you'll quietly bar it. Your hatch is barred. Step 2, phase 2 of operation something something.
Randonius.
All right. I
Lay down
will.
some skin.
I am going to attempt to exert control over these undead beings, not just like random.
Okay.
So I will pick up the femurs and I will begin to assert my authority.
Authority, yes.
I am the very
All right.
model of a pirate on the sea of stars of information, magical, nautical, and lascalar. I know the
All right.
major milestones and quote the realms historical, from spellpipe to the sundering, in order nonsensical.
Well, Amara, I've now gone from like being prepared for when the guards rush in to now face palming.
Randy,
Yes.
that was hilarious. Number 1. Number 2, the drums are rather resounding, like fairly melodic. Number 3,
Okay.
oh my God, I think that's human skin that's stretched over that.
Yeah,
Number
Okay.
number
Don't think too
4,
hard about it.
Surprise.
number 4, as you start doing that, the heads of every single being in that room will raise up and look in your general direction. They're poised and awaiting your command.
I will say, I wish you to stop whatever comes through that hatch, and I will point to the forward hatch.
All right.
And then
all the heads will turn in the direction of the forward hatch.
I will go and I will just experimental. I will say go. Oh, wait, I guess we're waiting for people to come through the hatch.
They're
Okay.
shackled down.
Yeah,
Yes.
I know.
Mhm.
I'm going to draw my short sword.
Okay. Shing.
I can
It
probably
makes
still
sense.
reach into the aisle.
Makes that satisfying shing noise. Okay, that's phase 2. Phase 3.
Phase 3 is mostly us waiting. Maybe you folks on the outside might see what happens, though. Unless we want to preserve
Wait,
the
you
tension.
need to. I mean, I guess the guards might hear the drums, but
Probably, yes.
Yeah.
So, all right, phase 3 is you're waiting for a reaction. The reaction comes, and the guards walking the section of the ship will head towards first the thing that you've barred, try and open it and discover that it's barred, and then hustle forward towards the open thing. I assume, Rhiannon, you're observing this with your spyglass?
And
The guard...
I'm encouraging Gedron to like stay right by my hip, sort of like hand on his shoulder.
He is.
Okay, good.
The guard who was posted at the rear castle of the ship will start yelling something in a language you don't understand. The other guards will yell back, and he will produce a key from a ring at his belt and open the door behind him. Okay, so, Eric, it appears as though your plan is underway, as there are people moving towards the front hatch. You can hear them running along the top deck. Phase 4?
So I turn and whisper to Gedrick, see, this is an important lesson. Fight smart. Don't take your opponents on head on.
Yes, Sir Dwarf.
Okay.
All right.
So phase 4, I unbolt that hatch.
Mhm.
And then I peek out. Is there
Okay.
just the one guard with the key?
You will see when you do that the 2 guards have disappeared down into the front hold, right? Randy, you can hear them scrambling behind you. They're reasonably close. And that there's no guard at the rear door. Rhiannon, you saw him go into that place and close the door behind him. This ship's guardless.
Okay, when I hear the scrambling, I'm going to start hacking at the wrists of some of the
To free
undead
them.
creatures to free them.
Oh, it's a gruesome business, Randy, but these things are shackled, so it's pretty easy to do. Okay.
Oh, gross.
Okay. And yeah, do they start moving in the direction of the hatch when I free them, or do they seem like or still intent in that direction? Or
I mean, they're looking that way. Yeah, they're just watching the hatches. You're hacking away at them.
okay,
They're very cooperative.
okay.
Okay, so phase 5, Eric?
I start leading people up.
Okay.
Well, I lead Jamal up first because that's the command and control member of our team
Okay.
who can communicate with people.
Okay.
So
She'll
yeah,
hover
I have
up
her
about
come out first.
She'll hover up about 15 feet over the center of the deck, ready to react to anything that's going to occur.
Do we seem clear?
Go, go,
Ask
go,
her.
go, go! Yeah, she'll
Alright,
say
yep.
by way of a response.
All right, I gesture people up, and I
Okay.
get on the deck with the sword ready in case something comes at us.
Out. Okay,
such
so
as from that fancy door.
oh yeah,
Who
the
knows?
fancy door. So on the opposite side, Randy, you'll hear people coming down. The door to the room will open, and as it does, your servitors, the 3 or 4 you've freed so far, will begin lurching in that direction. There's some people cursing, you're pretty sure it's cursing, in a language you don't understand. They don't see you. They do see the handless freed sound. That's not right.
Right. I will grab the femur bones and then start heading in the direction of the rear hatch.
Okay. So back towards where your friends are located.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. All right. Meanwhile, Rhiannon, they're hauling people out onto the deck and just moving them across it as fast as they can at this point. Do you and Joel want to do anything?
I mean, I feel it. Well, I don't think I should go on the ship. Joel, you can if you want to, but I'm going to, because we were sort of in concealment somewhat. We
Yep.
weren't invisible, but step out to where they can see us and sort of do the like this way kind of.
Got it.
Is there a particular path they could follow that would break line of sight to the ship quickly? Because if so, I would like to steer them in that direction.
You could probably manage that, sure.
Okay.
So I visualize this. Rhiannon there or a couple feet away from the hiding spot, sort of guiding people over. Joel closing a little bit. So it's sort of like Rhiannon at the furthest, Joel a little bit closer, trying to direct people once they get down the gangplank.
Sword and shield out, gesturing with the sword like that way.
Got it.
Way.
Eric guiding the people across the deck and guarding it should something come out. Jamal in the air. Randy moving his way with purpose across to get back up. Allie, where were you during all this?
So I would have been holding back by where the drum was with my stiletto out, just in case they got through.
Yeah.
Was not expecting Randy to start undoing all the zombies, but hey, that's where we're at. So if he's starting to move back towards where everyone's kind of trying to file their way out, I'm gonna back up toward the door.
Mm-hmm.
With my dagger still out, and I'm just gonna hold for the moment so that no one comes rushing in behind us.
Gotcha. It seems as though they're having some difficulty grappling with those now freed zombies that Randy was kind enough to let loose on them.
Yeah, I will keep. What I'll do is I'll keep an eye on that, but I'll keep looking over my shoulder to make sure that everyone's making their way up out. And once everyone's up out, at least onto the deck, then I will start moving.
Okay. About half of the people, we're into phase 6 now. About half of the people have crossed the deck and have begun making their way down the gangplank, and everybody's doing what everybody's doing when the door that the person who left from behind opens. Stepping out from that door is, well, this is probably a wizard. Just the russet robes. They're not quite red. They're like russet. The gaunt look, the sort of like Asian cast to this person's features, the shaved head, starter set of tattoos, says this is probably a wizard of some kind or another who has emerged from this chamber. I think that might be who the person was going to get.
Yeah.
That's an immediate reaction. They see you, you see them. What do you want to do this round? Eric?
I attack the wizard.
Close and hack. Okay.
Yeah.
Rhiannon?
Well, so let's see. My spells only have a certain range.
That is correct, and the wizard is well outside of it.
Yeah. So, do the people who are sort of coming towards me seem like they recognize Gedrin?
Yes, they have been in a hold with Gedrin before.
Okay, because I want to kind of like point him, sort of be like, hey, could you show your friends where to hide behind the crates?
He has been desperately waiting for a mission this whole time, so he will go and do whatever you tell him to do. Okay?
Okay, so I'm going to sort of like push him towards the people and be like, hopefully they'll take care of him.
guide, whatever.
Yeah, go sort of towards where Joel is, gangplank, not on the ship yet, and try to figure out ranges, because I want to be at like the very edge of the range that I could do something.
Got it. So you'll try to close a bit after having communicated that. Okay, Joel?
Is there enough room to get up the gangplank, or is that completely full with the people escaping?
You can always pass through friendlies, so you can do the dodgy thing to run up the the gangplank to get on the deck.
I will be attempting to charge the wizard as well. I don't know if I'll be able to get there this round.
You won't be able to get there this round, but you can you can eat up the distance. Randy?
Then
you're below deck, so you don't quite know what's going on above deck, but you sense it's something.
Yeah, I'll be shepherding the people and saying, hey, I'll say, Allie, sounds like something's going on upstairs. If you can pop up there, past these people.
Okay, Alec.
Yeah, I think at that point I'll kind of nod, but I'll step back through the door. Is
Yep.
there a way to bolt it if I closed it?
You're talking about the door to
Into the
oh
room
yes,
of zombies.
the stinky
door near the drums.
stinky
door.
stinky door. Yes, there is a way to bolt the stinky door.
Okay, so what I'll do is I'll look back at the guards. I'll go, have fun, and I'll blow a kiss, and I'll close the door. And
Oh, they
I'll
look like
bolt-
they're having so much fun right now. They
I'll
really do.
bolt it, and as soon as it's bolted, I'm going to book it and try to get up the stair up to the surface.
Because
You can
Allie was by the drum, right? So
Had
she's
moved, had
bolting
closed
the-
in.
I had backed up to the door behind the drum. Yes.
So she's bolting the door behind the guards, the one they just
Oh,
came through.
I thought it was a.
Am I? I thought it was the
No,
other
she-
way.
Yeah, I
No,
think
she's
it's
bolting the door
I'm
between
just trying
the
to make.
guards
I'm
and
just
us.
trying to make sure. Okay.
Yeah,
Holding
okay,
the door
yeah.
between the guards and us. and
trapping
then
them in
I am-
there with the zombies.
Yeah.
Got
Because
Yeah,
it would have been pretty funny if we bolted them in from both sides.
that would be funny.
Yeah,
But
Anyway,
You can only
anyway,
bolt people from one side. It's just a rule.
I am going to try to bolt up to the deck. Boots of striding and springing. If that's what you are, don't fail me now.
You can fly. Keep that in mind.
Oh yeah, that's right. I can fly. I'll just fly over everybody and up.
All right. So time for initiative. I rolled a 9, so that's good for you guys. Eric?
I rolled a 7.
Okay. Rhiannon, you don't really need to roll initiative for me. Neither do you,
Okay.
Joel, because you're kind of going last. Randy, also, you don't need to roll initiative because you're not acting on the combat. Allie, you do.
I rolled a 1.
Okay, so you're
Oh.
going pretty quick. Okay,
Yeah.
so I need to roll for. Oh, also a 1 for Jamal. Okay, so the round will start with Jamal spitting out the words of a spell, and 4 jade green missiles will go streaking from her hands and impact into the wizard. Hang on while I roll some damage.
Does this wizard look really familiar? Like we just saw her in a movie?
This is a male wizard, younger.
Okay.
But you're not far off on that other guess.
Hmm.
2, 6. The wizard is wounded, but not dead. However, visibly wounded, which means, if you recall my discussion of the concept of reels, means within 10 hit points of death. So, as those missiles rock into the wizard, conveniently disrupting the spell that the wizard was about to cast. That's the advantage of second edition mechanics, where spells have specific time lengths, and you can cast short ones to interrupt long ones. So that then brings us to you, Allie. You'll come racing out from below decks. You'll see the
Yeah.
magic missiles rain into that wizard.
Can I get in and try to stab him with the stiletto?
If you want to just in from the air, jamming with your weapon, you can give that a shot.
I'm gonna try.
You get +1 because you're attacking from above. Go ahead.
Fantastic.
Backstab.
Are we going low or high for this? Is this
D20s are always high for attack.
high for attack? Okay, I got 18.
All right, 18 will hit the armor class of this wizard. So
Okay.
you are using a weapon that is D3 base +1, +2
Okay.
for the plus of the weapon.
All right, D3 base +1 +2 for the okay. All right, I'll just do it. Okay, so that's I got a 3 +1, so 4, and then another
6.
+2.
So 6 points,
total.
which is conveniently what it takes to get the wizard to 0. 0 isn't death, -10 is death, but for all intents and
Yeah.
purposes, 0 is death. You'll basically come rocketing out from below with your weapon held high and just plunge, sort of like crash into this person, plunging your weapon into their collarbone, and the weapon will slip in, to its hilt, boom, as it bounces up against the person, and you'll slam that person breathless to the deck, unconscious, bleeding freely from the wound that you've just created. Eric, over to you.
I was like, face me. No. Okay. Yeah. I give Amara the nod, like that was badass.
Please roll a
And then-
20-sided die, Eric.
Yeah. 6.
Remember that person with the keys who opened the door
Yeah,
and
that person's still around.
went and got the wizard? That person was in the hallway beyond the wizard when the wizard rolled out onto the deck and blah, blah, blah. When the person sees someone jump out of the sky, plunge a dagger into the wizard, magic missile slam into the wizard, and then you're coming, that person slams the door.
I'm going to kick the door.
So you're going
with my
after them.
charge. Yeah,
Okay.
no, I rush in and I kick the door.
Okay, so you will kick that door open and you'll knock the person to the ground when you do it. You remember that scene in Star Wars where Han Solo comes chasing down the corridor and then all of a sudden there's a bunch of stormtroopers and then goes racing back in the opposite direction?
Okay, is this the original theatrical release or is it the redone version with the more stormtroopers? Because I want to make sure I understand.
I didn't realize there were more stormtroopers in the theatrical re-release.
There's also like a TIE fighter in the released version.
Yeah, there are a dozen soldiers in this hallway.
I close the door.
All right, so back out in the on the deck. You're now trying to get people off at a much more expeditious rate because it's not necessarily about quiet. It's about run. We have to get off this ship. The wizard is down. You can clear the people off the deck and down the gangplank. That's everybody but Eric and Allie. Randy, yourself included. So you have to come up and hasten the last few people off. Joel, you're going to help them down because you just ran to the top of the gangplank before the fight got over.
Yeah.
Okay. Rhiannon, you're now close enough that you could do something or you could just guide people off to Gedrin over there.
Well, so the wizard is down, right?
Wizard in a shower of blood and alleys.
So, like, the thing about lightning bolt is I do recall that sets small things on fire. So,
It does. Yes, yes.
That's last resort. Because if I'm gonna set shit on fire, I'm gonna set shit on fire.
Fire, yeah.
So I'm gonna go back to guiding people.
Okay, fair enough. Eric, would you like to try to bar that door?
Yes.
All right. Allie, what do you want to do?
Well, I'm gonna pull the dagger out of the wizard.
Good call. Good call.
For the moment, he's neutralized. So
see if the wizard has. See if he has the magical doodads and whatnot.
Yeah, yes, I was about to do that.
Look, he might recover. We wouldn't want him to blast us with wands that he has, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna take anything. Like I'll take anything he's got on him that looks.
A quick round of looting. Okay, so we'll get to that in just a second. So Eric, I need you to roll initiative against me. I rolled a 7. You need to beat that.
Okay. Uh-oh. I rolled a 10.
Okay, so you'll go to grab for the door, and now you are fighting with the door because there's someone on the opposite end of it trying to open the door while you're trying to close. Could you roll a 20-sided die for me? You want to roll as low below your strength as you can.
I rolled a 7.
Okay, I beat my strength by 5. You beat your strength by 10. So you'll win that fight and close the door. Allie, you have a choice. Your choice is shinies or throw the bar on that door while Eric holds it.
I'll throw the bar.
All right, so putting shinies out of your mind for a moment, throwing the bar on the door.
Yeah, I'll hop up and rush over and shove that bar across.
You have succeeded at barring the door. That is going to take them rounds to get through because you can hear them trying to hack away at the opposite side. That should give you guys the opportunity to escape with all these people you've liberated.
Hey,
can we believe that went off so smoothly?
Yeah.
How is that even possible?
Where's Jamal?
I don't trust
landing on the deck.
Not at all.
Quick, before he changes his mind.
Quick, set fire to the place and let's go.
All right, so.
And I set fire to the Thayans.
Do I have time then to try to, at that
loot
point,
a bit for the shinies?
Loot the shinies off of the...
It does mean that you will be the last to depart the ship, but you can loot for the shiny.
I am okay with that.
Okay, so all of the rest of you will clear those people off the ship. and get them off the docks and try and get them away, like into the darkness. Jamal Jamal will tell you, you want to go down this street and, lead the people there, and we'll cover your retreat, and I'll come and catch up with you in just a moment. But we got to get them out of here. Okay? So that's you in charge of that component, Joel. You, Allie, will pull a few quick things off this wizard. A set of bracers, studded leather bracers that the wizard was wearing, a couple of rings, a dagger, and what looked like 3 potions. Like, these look valuable. Scoop, scoop, scoop.
All right. As soon as once I have those, I will be like, time to go.
All right. Randy, anything from you?
Nope. I mean, other than ushering the people off, a feeling of like, this is so much. I feel better about having had to leave those children behind now that we've rescued someone. And yeah, the femurs, well, I guess I better hold on to them. I was going to throw them in the water, but they might float and they might retrieve them. So I'll just hold on to them.
Hold on to them because they can't use those without them. All right.
That's right.
So you're doing that. Rianne, anything special from you as you guys are departing the scene?
Well, I mean, as Joel is sort of dealing with the people, I'm going to say to him, Gedrin is now like your primary concern, like, because I'm like trying to hand it off so that somebody is always like, Gedrin is their focus. And so I'm going to hand that to Joel.
Okay.
Okay.
Gedrin's primary preference is to stay as close to Papa, aka Eric, as is humanly possible. So unless someone stops him, he's always going to make a beeline for Eric.
Okay. Well, in that case, then Eric can sort of.
Well.
Okay. Got it. Eric, and you?
I am continuing to escape. My priority is protecting Gedrin and protecting the rest of my team.
Okay.
If everybody is escaping, then we're good.
All right.
I know what I want to do. I want to hold the 2 femurs in a cross beneath my face, transform my face into a skull. So it's like a pirate symbol. And I will shout, remember the pirate, Sultan Pepperbeard, I'm in effect. Prince of Penzance, favorite of Corsair, captain of the Black Pearl, and alpha of Alphar, bitches.
So now we have 3 nicknames out of 5. Noted.
No.
I feel like I cut you off, Rhiannon. Was there one more thing?
Yeah, I'm burning that ship.
Oh, just a small
Hey,
one.
Randy, are you on it? You might not want to be on it.
No,
Question.
I'm down on the dock.
Grand
But this
Standing
one,
House.
I was like, I
Just a
turned around
small
just to like
thing.
taunt
Just a
them
small
little bit.
thing. All right,
Yeah.
so
I mean,
what's your plan for that, for the ship burning?
So the lower level spell is Burning Hands, and then
Yes.
the higher level spell is
Agnazar's Scorcher.
That's it. Okay.
Mhm.
I didn't remember the name. So Agnazar's Scorcher is the one that I'm gonna do.
60 feet of flame throwing, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So do you want to give it a little like, oh, be fiery, catch fire? Okay. Fair enough. You will
little sort of toast.
Mhm.
Aim
So
for the waterline.
you'll do that from the gangplank, from the base of the gangplank. Where would you like to set your fire from?
If there's I ain't standing on the gangplank.
Okay.
If there's the range, I plan to stand on the dock, sort of, and then
You can
I'll aim for the waterline.
you can kiss the side of the ship with it at the waterline if that's what you'd like to do from the dock.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
so you will set that ship merrily ablaze. It's not as powerful as the one that you put off inside, but it's enough to catch a ship on fire. They're flammable, those things, especially when they don't have waves throwing water all over them. And so it is now merrily burning as the lot of you are scampering off into the night. Jamal, it's like a party. Like she hasn't done this kind of thing in a long time, and she is having a fantastic evening of it. We've rescued people. We've saved Gedrin. We've set the ship ablaze. And she will say to you, Eric, Shadowbane, I have the kernel of an idea to save not just Thistle, but this whole damned town. And on that note, we will end our session for this evening.
Woo woo.
All right. Thanks, everybody. I have been Isekai to be the intrepid Elric Thalavar, who begs forgiveness rather than ask for permission. You can find my stuff online under my own name. There are links in the doobly-doo. Anyway, thank you so much. Take it away, Allie.
Hi, everybody. I am Alexander Pitchford. I am a game designer, writer, and TTRPG streamer. And yeah, I feel like I should have coup de grace that wizard, but you know,
I was going to
hindsight
ask.
2020.
I was going to ask about that. If you would
I-
allow me to say this how I say it. If you would like to murder the defenseless wizard, you can.
I mean, it's a red wizard of
I mean,
Fey.
he's burning to death now, so.
He's going to the bottom.
I
anyway.
mean, you know what? I think in the moment I would have done it.
Very well. Well, his body's burning now. Anyway, go on. You were talking. Yes.
Anyway, never mind. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Let's see what happens next time, because that's gonna be great too, I'm sure. But that's all I've got.
I've been Rhiannon Held. Check out my writing under Rhiannon Held, the Silver Series of Urban Fantasy with werewolves, and under RZ Held, the Amsterdam Institute series of space opera novellas. First one, clean install. It's got nanites, galactic empire, snarky AI, later emotional support cats, all kinds of cool stuff. And tonight, thank you to our moderators in the chat, whoever they may be.
Hi, Randy Henderson playing Randonius Hendersonius. And you can check out my books, Fin Fancy series with Bigfoot mercenaries and gnome mobsters and other fun things. Yeah, check out our Discord. Thanks all for watching.
Hey everybody, I'm Joel Everett. I don't have anything to plug, but thank you for coming along on this trip with us. It's been a lot of fun.
And I am your DM, Chris. The thing I have to plug is this, so I hope you've been enjoying it. Please come watch session 11 in short order.